Boland are suing Richard's son, 26-year-old Timothy Graves, for attorney fees, as well as anger management and AA classes.
Order. All rise. Now, it's case number 561 on the calendar in the matter of Graves, Boland versus Graves. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Mr. Graves, this is your son.
Correct.
And you are?
His stepmother.
How long have the two of you been married?
6 years.
What kind of work do you do, Mr. Graves?
I'm a facility manager.
And you?
I'm a human resources manager.
Who else lives in your home with you?
No one else.
And how old are you, Mr. Graves?
26.
You got yourself into trouble. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Your father says that he paid for attorneys for you on two separate occasions. One because you got yourself into trouble, and the next time because you wanted to see your son. You have a son.
I have a daughter.
A daughter. And there was a problem with visitation. So your father and stepmother helped you get a lawyer. He wants that money back. And he says he paid for anger management classes, which were a condition of your probation, even though that was a minor amount of money. I think you just threw it in. It was something like $65. You've probably spent more on him at dinner.
True, very true.
Right. Okay. Mr. Graves, why don't you tell me about the first instance where you retained an attorney for your son?
Timothy was arrested on a violation of a restraining order and tried twice to gain a release.
When was that, Mr. Graves?
April, I think, or March, somewhere around there.
It was March 19th, and he was trying to get bail and was denied bail once. And
Denied any bail?
Denied bail.
Is this the first time you've been arrested for domestic violence?
Yes.
Was it a bad case of domestic violence?
No, ma'am.
And they would not set bail for you?
No, they wouldn't. Long story, no, they wouldn't.
Well, give me the cliff notes of the long story.
The judge I was going in front of wouldn't release anybody on a violation of a protective order charge because he had released somebody on a violation of a protective order charge, and they went back to their wife or something like that.
And killed him?
Yes, ma'am.
You only burned him once.
That's all you had to do.
So you were released when, who was it, your girlfriend?
Yes.
Filed for a protective order, but then when she alleged that you violated the protective order, he said, okay. What was the nature of the alleged violation, Mr. Graves?
Me and her got into an argument over the phone.
Over the phone?
So over the phone.
She alleged that you threatened her over the phone in
Yes.
violation of the order. What'd you call her for? It's not an answer.
I was over at my friend's house, and we were just talking, and I just found something out, and I didn't like it. So I called her and confronted her about it. She really didn't like that.
Well, because it's a violation of the protective order.
Yes.
Right. That's why the judge didn't let you out. So you tried twice to get bail, and you were twice denied bail. Then what happened? Look at me.
My father basically took it upon himself to get me out.
You didn't have a discussion with him?
I talked to him several times while I was in jail, and
Did you at any time say to him, do something, help me?
I had said help me, but he once again told me to go forth with the public defender, and it just wasn't working.
And so you didn't have a subsequent conversation with him?
About
Did
getting
he?
me out?
Yes, the public defender tried for the second time to gain bail and was denied. And at that point, I imagine it looked hopeless in his opinion, and literally begged me, calling from jail, to please hire an attorney to get me out of here. I need to get out of here. Please do whatever you have to do to get me out of here.
And?
And I made that understanding very clear at the time. My wife was on the extension that if I do this, this will just be a loan. I'm not giving you this money. Pretty much if it was up to me, I would let you stay in jail to learn the lesson. So that was the condition.
Is that what you said to him?
Yes.
And what did he say to you?
Anything you can do to get me out.
When your father retained the attorney for you, Mr. Graves, was the attorney successful in securing bail for you?
Yes, ma'am.
How much?
I'm not sure of the amount. I don't know the
Who
amount.
posted it?
I guess my father did.
There was no bail. It was a habeas corpus trial, and he was released.
So that despite the fact that the judge said, I'm not setting bail for you, the judge is required to set reasonable bail in order to secure your appearance. So the judge got his wrist slapped, right?
Yes.
Whatever happened with that case, Mr. Graves?
It was, went through with court and everything, and I got put on probation, and it was dropped. I think I actually got time served.
Listen, if it goes through court and everything and you were put on probation, then it's not dropped. If you put on probation, it's because you were convicted. Either you were convicted after a plea or you were convicted after a trial. Did you take a plea?
No, the second degree assault, the first charge, why I got put on a restraining order, that I got put on probation for. The violation of protective order, I got time served. That's done and over with.
So you assaulted your girlfriend.
In the sense, yes.
How many senses of assault are there?
There's a wide range.
Well, give me your range.
A cell phone at the ground and it bounces up and hit her.
Is that what she says happened or what you said happened?
That's exactly what happened.
Listen to me. Is that what she claimed?
Yes.
And how injured was she?
Not really. Any scratch on the head. Our daughter was in her room. That was the main problem.
How old is her daughter?
Our daughter's 18 months now.
So you threw a cell phone at her, you hit her in the head, and she got a gash, and your 18-month-old daughter was in the room.
Sleeping, yes.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
And then you heard something else that you didn't like, so you called and threatened her.
Yes.
And then she said to you, you're not getting visitation with this child because you have a bad temper.
No.
Well, an attorney was necessary in order to secure you visitation with your daughter, is that right?
Yes.
If your girlfriend wasn't complaining about your conduct, there wouldn't have been need for an attorney. You could have arranged for visitation without the necessity of having an attorney.
That's what we had.
That's what you had what?
That's what me and her had. Even after I got released, I had my daughter every weekend.
And then what happened?
We just had a falling out, and it got to where it needed to go, where I had to go to court.
Do you have visitation now, Mr. Graves?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
I have her every single day during the week and every other weekend.
Is that because you work nights?
Yes, ma'am.
And child's mother works days?
Yep.
And that's by court order?
Yeah.
And that was secured for you through the attorney that your father paid for?
This is, well, yes, but me and my ex came to an agreement outside of court.
It was secured by virtue of an attorney
Yes.
that your father got for you.
Yes.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Richard Graves says his son, Timothy Graves, owes for attorney fees from 2 separate arrests.
Okay, how did it come about that your father got you that attorney?
Because he saw that it was,
Don't tell me what he saw. There had to be a conversation.
we talked about it.
Well, that's what I'm asking you. What was the conversation?
That I had to do whatever I had to do to get my daughter.
Well, what was it that you had to do, Mr. Graves?
I had to go through court.
Right. And?
I had to hire a lawyer.
And?
And he knew that I didn't have the money to
Don't
pay for
tell
a
me
lawyer.
what he knew.
I didn't have the money to pay for a lawyer.
So what did you say to him?
I need your help.
And what did he say to you?
Okay.
Now, Mr. Graves, first tell me when this was that you advanced money for the second lawyer.
This was on June 8th.
Had he paid you back any of the money that he owed you for the first lawyer?
Partially, yes.
He did?
Yes.
How much did he pay you?
$315.
What did you pay him the $315 for, Mr. Graves?
I never had any recollection that I paid him the $315.
Well, tell me what you claim he said to you with regard to paying you back for the second lawyer.
We actually found that lawyer as a reference from the first lawyer that was hired. Timothy and I went to his office, sat down, gave him an overview of the case. And I asked Timothy, is this the person you want to hire? And he said, yes. I said, you realize that this is just going to add to what you owe me.
How much was the second lawyer, sir?
All told, $3,000.
What do you mean all told?
There was an initial $2,000 retainer that I put down in June, and then later on there was another $1,000 they requested.
And how much did he still owe you from the first lawyer?
$300.
So he owes you $3,300.
Correct.
Not $3,360.
This 60 was for the anger
management class.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I paid for the anger management classes out of my own pocket.
I'm asking you about the lawyers.
He knew my financial situation. He knew I didn't have any money to pay for any lawyers whatsoever. But it kind of came up as it's their granddaughter too. If I don't get to see her, they don't get to see her. I figure that's why they were helping me.
Are you working now, Mr. Graves?
Yes, ma'am.
Did your father throw a telephone at your girlfriend in front of your daughter?
No.
Did your father pick up the phone when he wasn't supposed to make contact with your girlfriend and threaten her?
No.
Was it because of your father's conduct that you were denied any kind of visitation with your daughter?
No.
Whose fault was it?
It's all mine.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,300. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think it was a little unfair.
It's exactly what we were looking for Judge Judy to let him know this is what you need to do in life.
It's all settled. I want to get our relationship on and continue on and move on.
I'm hoping we can put this behind us, move on.
We can be a father and son.
Don't lend money to any member of your family that you're not willing to lose.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Turner versus Cisneros, Vu Mesa, step forward.
19-year-old Damel Turner is suing his former roommates, Chris Cisneros, Sarah Vu, and Mackenzie Mesa, for breaking their apartment lease.
Mr. Turner, which one of these young ladies was your girlfriend?
The one on the far left.
That would be you. You are Miss Mesa?
Yes.
According to your complaint, you and your girlfriend and the co-defendant and his girlfriend, also co-defendants, you all decided to set up housekeeping together and lease an apartment.
Yes, ma'am.
You moved in with your girlfriend, he moved in with his girlfriend, and you all signed the lease.
Yes, ma'am.
And then very slowly, one by one, they all took off.
Yes, ma'am.
Did that give you any cause to pause, Mr. Turner, that there might be something wrong with you? Is not an answer.
No, ma'am.
There was never any indication that something was wrong with your behavior.
No, ma'am.
Seems odd, doesn't it, that they all moved out and left you there alone?
Yes, ma'am.
In any event, your lawsuit wants them to be responsible for the rent for the remainder of the lease and for when they left. And they say it was because of your conduct that they all left, that there were problems in the apartment precipitated by your behavior. And they're counterclaiming because they say that there is some property that was in the apartment and they want moving expenses, which you're not going to get. You're lucky if you don't get hit with rent. Don't be stupid about your moving expenses. When did you sign the lease, Mr. Turner?
June 21st of 2008.
Was it a year's lease?
Yes, ma'am.
How long had you and Miss Mesa been dating?
A year and a half now.
Had you lived together previously?
No.
Were you working?
Yes.
Had you been friends with them as a couple, or were you friendly with one of them?
I knew Daymel from work.
What work?
We work at a Round Table pizza place.
When did you move out?
I moved out in, let's see, the 1st of January this year.
Where did you go?
I moved in with my father at his place.
And when did you move out, Miss Vu?
The second to last week of November.
Why did you move out?
Chris and I broke up a few days before our 4-year anniversary.
Now, when you moved out, who paid November's rent, your share of November's rent?
I had already paid my share of November's rent, and because I was moving out on such short notice, I gave Chris my share of December's rent in cash.
Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So you fully paid for December.
Yes.
When did you move out?
I moved out at the end of November.
Why?
I moved out because I felt that...
Look at me. Don't look over there.
I felt that it was not a good environment for me to be in at the time, and...
Like what?
Well, my schoolwork was going down. I was depressed. My family was asking me to come home, and I felt that that would be a better environment for me.
I don't hear anybody talking about his bad behavior. You had a lot to say in your answer.
Well, one night, especially like where I felt like it was like definitely a sign that it wasn't a good place to be at anymore, was a week before Chris and I broke up. We were all like hanging out at our apartment, and we had friends over, and it was probably really late, like really early in the morning, around 2. We were hungry, and so we decided all to go get something to eat.
Could we get to it, please? I have places to go.
Mackenzie wanted to come with us, and Daymel decided not to let her, but and she went anyways, and so he was really angry. When we got back with the food, we were all sitting on the couch eating, and Mackenzie was sitting on the edge of the armchair, and Daymel came out and was like lecturing her, and she rolled her eyes, and so he walked up to her, grabbed her by the neck, and threw her down onto the ground from the armchair of the couch.
That was in November? Mm-hmm. Did that happen, Miss Mesa?
Yeah, to an extent that happened. We did have our fights where they would escalate sometimes.
I can understand fights escalating. I don't understand physical violence during an argument. Did you do that, Mr. Turner?
No, what happened was...
Listen, I don't want to go through the food and the couch again. Did you put your hands on her?
Yes, I shoved her.
Well, you can't do that.
I know. What happened is
How much after that did she leave?
That actually happened in October, and she left at the end of November. It was because we were having a party, and like we all had like a couple of drinks, and
I don't care why.
Okay. What happened was that I came and yelled at Mackenzie, like, "Why'd you leave? We're supposed to..."
I don't care.
Okay.
You can't put your hands on anybody. Was that the first time he ever put his hands on you?
No.
Was it the last time he put his hands on you?
Yes.
All right. So far, the two of you are responsible for rent, because you can't just leave. Being unhappy with your environment is not a reason for you to break a lease. Breaking up with your boyfriend is not a reason for you to break your lease. Now, you left in January. Mm-hmm. Did you pay January's rent?
I did not pay January's rent.
And you left when?
I left it, I would say, the 1st of January.
What kind of discussion did you have with Mr. Turner about the rent on the apartment?
The beginning of December, I told him that I wasn't going to be able to pay January, and that I was going to go and tell the office that it was, time for me to leave. I was going to put in my notice. Damel asked me if I could give him the notice and wait till he got a roommate, and then put in my notice at the beginning of January.
Did you have that discussion with him?
No, ma'am. He told me he was going to move to Australia with his brother, that he was going to keep paying rent until he decides on what he was doing.
Well, that was back in December. That's what he's saying. And he said that you had that discussion.
Yeah, this is December, but it's getting close to January, and he's told me that he's going to still keep paying rent until he figure out what he was going to do. He never, ever gave me any, formal or told me exactly when he was going to leave or ever went to the office and let them know either. So I can never actually get a roommate because they're all still on the lease, and the apartment won't let me put a new person on the lease until they're all off the lease.
Did you take your names off the lease?
I had signed the paper to get my name off of the lease, but I don't think it ever went through because I needed signatures from everyone else as well.
What about you?
At this point, when I went to go try and get...
The answer is either yes or no.
Yeah, but Damel's the only one who can sign us off.
Did you get your name off the lease?
No.
What about you?
No, still there.
Fine. So they owe January and February so far. How much is your share of the rent?
$283,725.
And how much were you paying in rent?
$286.
And you?
$286.75.
You each owe him $858. January, February, and I'm throwing in March. Yours is less. $849. By the end of March, sir, if you don't have roommates, I suggest you do something else. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, moving expenses on your counterclaim is out. You moved, so who cares if you move? Only he cares if you move. What property do you have there?
A queen-size mattress, a CD cabinet, a shelf, and a stereo.
Is it still there?
Yes, ma'am.
When do you want to get it out?
ASAP.
Fine, within 5 days?
Yes, that's fine with me.
Anything else?
I had a rice cooker.
Why didn't you take it with you in November?
Because...
It's not an answer.
all our things were still mixed up together, and I couldn't find it at that time. And when I went back to get it later, Damel had already changed the locks on the apartment.
When you pick up the rest of your stuff, pick up her rice maker. Okay?
Okay.
Robert Ebgene is suing his ex-fiancée, Kimberly Fonger, for a false arrest and for the return of his property and his dog.
Order. All rise. Yes, case number 604 on the calendar in the matter of Ebgene versus Fonger. Parties have been sworn in, Judge.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Fonger.
Fonger.
And Mr. Ebgene.
Correct.
How old are you, sir?
50.
Other than this arrest that you had on this charge of domestic violence, have you ever been arrested?
No.
So this arrest for domestic violence was your first arrest?
For domestic violence, yes.
I'm talking about for anything.
For anything. In 2001, wet reckless.
2001 what?
Wet reckless.
What does that mean?
That is a DUI that was reduced to a wet reckless.
So in 2001, you had one arrest for DUI?
Correct.
Other than that?
That's it.
And how long had you and Miss Fonger been a couple?
We met in April of 06 at rehab.
Nature of your addiction was alcohol?
Alcohol, correct.
And yours?
It was pills.
Your complaint alleges that you were arrested for domestic violence. The incident occurred because Miss Fonger actually assaulted you while you were driving in the car. It is your claim that ultimately the charges against you were dropped.
Correct.
For lack of evidence. The criminal charges. You allege that Miss Fonger filed for a restraining order. She never showed up. That case was dismissed.
Correct.
Then she filed for another restraining order, and she conned you into not going to court on that one. Told you she was going to drop those charges, so you didn't go to court.
Along with a little loving, yes.
Yeah.
That's correct.
And then she did go to court and did, in fact, get a protective order.
Correct.
And you want her to compensate you to the tune of $5,000. Ms. Fonger says that you did, in fact, assault her. She's got a counterclaim for her medical bills and punitive damages for the assault. So, I want you to tell me exactly your version of the events, Ms. Fonger, of what happened on the 9th of January, because you also have a claim for certain property that you claim she took while the 2 days that you were in jail before the charges were dropped, and a dog that you claim she took that belonged to you. Okay. Go.
Okay. On January 9th, we were on... Sorry, I'm nervous. We went to Pollock Casino, and we meet people And that night, he decided not to go to the concert. So he pulled me out, and we went to Temecula Valley.
You said you had been to the concert at the casino.
Halfway.
But you went to the concert.
Right, but only halfway.
Okay. And then he wanted to leave. You were driving the car back, and?
And he was drunk.
Yes.
And he was on drugs.
And?
And then I was yelling and screaming.
And what about you?
I had 4 drinks.
And what about pills?
Nope.
Just alcohol?
Yeah, correct.
I have proof she had pills that night.
What kind of proof do you have?
A week before that, she got 120 somas by forging my doctor's signature.
But how can you prove that she had pills in her system that night?
Her actions, her behavior, it just goes from what she's...
That's not proof. Go ahead.
When we got to, actually, between Paula Casino and Temecula Valley, he hit my head against the wall, or against the window. I was unconscious. And then he kept hitting me. He restrained me. And then the next thing I know was the police were there.
Okay. Go ahead.
Back from the concert, she didn't want to go. She wanted to stay. And with this new friend she had met, party with them, and we were arguing. And then I'm driving, and she attacks me. I have pictures of my face being scratched. And
you wanted to leave the concert early?
I don't think so. No, we left early, but I didn't want to leave early. No.
Do you remember why?
I think it's because the couple that she'd met started making inappropriate remarks towards, like, maybe you guys could sleep in our room tonight and things like that. And I didn't want to stick around.
When had you been drinking that day?
Pretty much from noon until the concert,
And when had the defendant been drinking that day?
Along with me all day long, yeah.
So you were drinking home and you were driving while you were drinking?
No, I wasn't driving while I was
Not while you were drinking, but you had been drinking all day and you got behind the wheel of the car.
That is correct.
So what happened in the car, if you remember?
Oh, I remember. Very nice. She attacked me. I pulled over because it almost
Tell me how
wrecked.
she attacked you.
She came across my face and scratched me. And
Well, what were you arguing about that caused that?
Just that she wanted to stay and I didn't. And she was being just the normal self that she always is when she takes her pills. And I didn't want to, have to take care, because she can't walk or talk after a certain amount of them, and I have to take care of her, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So I pull over into a parking lot and try to calm her down. She's running around the parking lot screaming, out of control. I can't calm her down. People call the cops. They come and they arrest me. And then they get
Do you have a police report?
She did.
I'd like to see the police report.
I never did get a police report.
I'd like to see the police report, and I would also like to see the pictures.
Here's the proof of the pills, too. If you know. She just got 120 more of them 2 weeks ago. That's probably why she can't stand up.
No.
You on pills now, Miss Funger?
No, I haven't been.
You willing to take a drug test?
I'm willing to.
Hair follicle test?
Sure.
We'll arrange for that.
Mr. Evgene has been taking drugs.
I'm just asking you, are you prepared to take a hair follicle test?
Yes.
Today?
Yes.
And you will either be exonerated or humiliated. Don't waste my time. Don't waste his time. If you've taken any drugs, it's going to show up in your hair follicle. Do you get it?
Yes.
Okay? And you would agree that if you lied to me about using drugs now, so you don't have any pills in your system, that I would have serious reservations about everything else that you told me. Do you understand
Correct.
that?
You can test Mr. Evgene, too.
I'm just asking you.
Okay.
His behavior is not bizarre. Yours is.
I'm very nervous.
That's not nerves. That's more than nerves.
Amen.
Been in the business a long time.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Robert Evgene says his ex-fiancée, Kimberly Fonger, owes for a false arrest and for the return of his property and his dog. Kimberly is countersuing for medical bills from an assault.
Well, so according to the police, you were both drunk as skunks that day. Both of you. According to the police, you both had visible signs of injury. You had a bloody lip, and he had bloody scratches on his face. They decided to arrest him. right?
Correct.
You deserve to be arrested. You were driving drunk.
Mm-hmm.
You had a fight with her. So your statement that her behavior caused you to be arrested, that's not true. She may have contributed to it, but your own behavior caused you to be arrested.
Her behavior is the one
Your own behavior caused you to be arrested, sir. If you were not drunk, you wouldn't have been put in that situation.
If she had not called attention to everybody and had the cops call.
You're ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. That's what happens when you drink and drive.
I understand that, but I could have
That's what happens when you drink and drive.
Could have sat in my truck all night and no one would know I've been drunk, you know, unless someone called them. And she's the one that had
Or
them.
unless you hit somebody who was traveling with their 4 children in a car.
That's another story.
That's another story.
Yeah.
I have zero
Tolerance.
sympathy for you.
I understand that.
Zero sympathy for you. I have less sympathy for you. Well, right now, I'm telling you right now, my inclination is to let you, if you're sober now, terrific, but to let you two drunks who were drunk on January 9th go your own way, and whatever happened to you that day, that's it. He was injured, you were injured, he got to spend some time in jail, had to bail himself out, lost a dog, lost some property, which, by the way, you have his property?
No, it's mine.
What property did she take?
The dog, the TV, the VCR, the bed.
How long had you been living together?
3 years.
I'm not bothering with it. That's your problem.
The dog, though, is like a kid. You can't take a kid from you. It's like taking a kid from you. How do you do that?
You've been living together for 3 years, is that right?
I paid for everything. It's my dog.
How long have you had the dog?
2.5 years.
Good. Can I see the medical records, please?
Yes. As well, this is the AKC, and it's
This
wrong.
is the medical records?
Yes.
That's what she had.
Thank
And
you.
Your Honor, I have a tape that says the dog's mine.
I don't care what you have. I just told him he's not getting the dog back. This is not the hospital record, madam. This is not a medical record. This tells you what to do in case you have serious vomiting or worsening or a headache or whatever. I'm not interested in that.
That's from the hospital.
Well, it's not enough for me. Will you pass this back to her, please? He had a swollen lip. He had a scratched face. Sounds to me as if you two people who were intoxicated in a car got exactly what you both deserved. Goodbye.
Please excuse. You may step out.
It was just waiting to happen. It was one of those relationships that, you know, you meet in rehab, and they tell you not to date, and they're right. You don't do it.
Don't meet a man in rehab.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Frith versus Austin, step forward.
19-year-old Kimberly Frith is suing her mother, Ruth Austin, for spending a settlement check for an injury she received as a young girl.
Miss Frith, this is your mom.
Yes, ma'am.
Your complaint alleges that when you were a youngster, 6?
Yes, ma'am.
You were bitten by a dog.
Yes, ma'am.
And there was a lawsuit filed, and there was a settlement.
Mm-hmm.
Your parents got the settlement, your mother and your father. Your parents are divorced now.
Mm-hmm.
And when you turned 18, your father gave you half of
We settled
the
out of
settlement.
court. Yes, ma'am.
And you want the other half from your mother.
Yes, ma'am.
And your mother says that that money was just used to live.
Yes, exactly.
Do you have the paperwork on the settlement?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to take a look at it. I assume, Miss Frith, you and your mom have been at odds.
A little bit, yeah.
How old are you now?
I am 19.
And you live with whom?
Well, I'm staying with my father right now. I'm in the process of moving.
What are you doing?
I'm an in-home support specialist. I work with handicapped children.
Okay. So after the attorney was paid, the entire amount was $2,641. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me how you resolved this with your father.
We settled because he's been paying my cell phone bill for the past 2 years, and I've been staying with him, not paying any rent.
When did you make the arrangement with him with regard to paying your cell phone bill as a quid pro quo of this money?
When I turned 18, because my father also had spent $1,000 of my money when my grandfather passed away. And when I turned 18, he started paying the cell phone bill. And I asked him if he would help me out to go to school. And I'm actually in the process of going to school, and he's given me some money for that.
Well, this money was put into a bank account, was it not, Miss Austin?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Back then, we had no money. We lived in motels. I worked 2 different jobs. Her dad worked shows, you know, flea markets, whatever, and we just didn't have any money.
Was there anything in the paperwork that directs that this money be placed in an interest-bearing account for your benefit.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you have her read it to me? Read to me the part of that you believe directs that this money be placed in an interest-bearing account for you. I don't see that in your paperwork, but if you believe that it's there, I'm asking you to read it to me, Ms. Frith.
Ma'am.
Just read it to me.
The undersigned understand that the parties hereby release admit no liability of any sort by reason of said accident, and that said payment and compromise is made to terminate further controversy respecting all claims for damages that said minor or undersigned have heretofore asserted or might personally.
Correct. That's a general release. That means that your parents, on behalf of themselves and you, release the person who owned the dog from any further lawsuits.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all that says.
Yes, ma'am.
Doesn't say that your parents are obligated to put the money in an interest-bearing account and turn it over to you when you're 18. If you had bills, if you had anything that was related to the dog bite, that money could be used for that, if they wished. I'm looking for a legal hook for you, and I don't see it.
Ma'am, what I was told is that if
you can't tell me what you were told. What you were told is hearsay.
If the money was not spent on me, then it shouldn't have been spent.
Is that what you think?
That's what I've seek legal counsel, and that's what I've been.
That's hearsay, and I can't help you with
She
it.
wasn't. They weren't living in a motel at the time.
I don't care whether they were or not.
It would have been put in an interest-bearing account if they actually taken it to court, but they just released the check believing that my parents would do what they were supposed to do.
Well, they didn't.
They didn't, and I'm upset.
I can see that you're upset. I can see that you're upset.
Yes, ma'am.
But what I'm telling you is you don't have a legal basis to be upset. You have a moral basis to be upset, but you don't have a legal basis to be upset. Your parents signed off on it, probably selfishly and stupidly, both of them.
Yes, ma'am.
Because this was fast money, and they didn't have to wait for the matter to go to trial, where they might have gotten some more money, but then the court would have been involved in setting up what they call a structured settlement for a minor. And the structured settlement for the minor would have said this money has to go into a certain kind of account and can only be touched in case of absolute necessity. Parents make mistakes all the time, and they act selfishly all the time, and that's what your mother and your father did. But that doesn't mean that you have a legal claim against your mother for half the money.
Well, that's what I believe the parents' release and indemnity agreement was.
No. Parents' release just says that they release the owner of the dog from any further liability in consideration of the $4,000 less attorney's fees.
Well, I'm the one that's left with the scars. They're not.
You're absolutely right. I said to you, you have a reason to be morally distressed, but not legally distressed. So, I understand your position, and I understand your consternation. What I don't understand is, I don't consider it a big deal that your father has paid your phone bill. And I don't think it's a big deal that your father has let his daughter live in his house when she's 17 and 18 years old, rent-free. That's not a big deal. If I could have gotten away with that with my children, I would be dancing a big old dance right now. And if your father is going to help you pay for school, that's what your father is supposed to do.
And that's what my mother
That's what your father is supposed to do.
My mother's
and if your mother
also
is able,
supposed to
just
do
a
that.
second, and if your mother is able to, and she's not doing it, then she's not a good mother. That's not what we have courts for. What I'm telling you is your father is supposed to do whatever he's been doing for you.
And I have been helping, ma'am.
Well, I don't know how you've been helping.
Putting me in debt.
Just a second. Clearly, your daughter is angry with you for
She's very
something.
angry. Yes, ma'am.
For
She's very
something,
angry.
which I'm not getting into now
Right.
because, quite frankly, I don't care why she's angry with you.
Right.
Sometimes teenage girls get angry with their mother, and they don't get happy with their mother until they're 30. And they stay happy with their father just because. That's what happens.
Right.
Is that what happens? Yeah, sometimes.
That's what happens.
In any event, your father doesn't deserve any kudos for doing what he's supposed to do. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's supporting his child. How long have your parents been divorced?
9 years.
And who did you live with initially?
Well, we stayed with our mom, but I just
For how
ventured
long?
out with friends.
For how long did you stay with your mother?
I was 11 when I was about a year.
And after the year?
I moved in with some friends.
When you were how old?
12, 13, ma'am.
Yeah, that's
No,
Ms. Frith.
no.
You may have spent a lot of time with your friends, but I don't believe that when you were 11 or 12 years old, you moved in with
She
friends.
lived with me.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
No,
All right, Ms. Frith, I'm sorry, but you don't have a claim against your mother. Case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused.
Mother, she thinks she's the best mother in the world.
21-year-old student Caroline Rest is suing her former friend, 22-year-old student Derek Trenholm, for damages to her condo after he threw a party. Derek says it was just a few friends watching the Red Sox game.
Yeah, this is case number 568 on the calendar in the matter of Rast versus Trenholm. Thank you. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You're welcome. Have a seat, y'all.
Mr. Trenholm, you and the plaintiff knew each other. She was buying a condo or a co-op?
I had previously bought it. I bought it in February.
And you made an arrangement with her for you to rent a room in her condo. According to Miss Rast's complaint, she was going to be out of town for a few days prior to your moving in.
Yes, Your Honor.
But because you were friends, she said, why don't you move in some of your stuff even before the lease period starts? I'm not going to be there. So far, are we on the same page?
Well, no, Your Honor. Actually, she said that I could move into the premises early myself.
Oh, that
To be
was even
attendance.
nice. Just a second, that was even nicer.
Yes.
Chinatown. Mm-hmm. So she was a great gal, and you moved in. When did you move in?
On the 13th
Of
June
of
2004.
And what furniture did you move in with, sir?
I moved in a guitar. I moved in a...
Just a second. Can you sit on it?
No.
What
You could, but I
furniture
don't
did
think
you
that would be
move in?
comfortable.
I said.
I moved a portable fold-out chair that turned into a bed. I moved in a couple of other chairs, some lamps.
Clothes?
Clothes. There's a couple bags of clothes there. And then...
Bags? You mean suitcases?
Yeah,
or
suitcases.
shopping
I had packed all my clothes up.
Now, at some point, you had a few guests over.
Yes, Your Honor.
When was that?
That was on June 18th. It was a few days prior to my birthday, and I invited a few friends over to watch the Red Sox game and celebrate my birthday.
So you were at that point a tenant.
Yes.
How much rent had you paid?
None.
Tenants pay rent.
They do, but we had no written
Mr.
contract,
Trenholm.
Your Honor.
You don't have to have a written contract, Mr. Trenholm. You can be a month-to-month tenant without it. But as long as your behind is in her apartment and you say that you were going to be a lessee, you're a tenant.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tenants pay rent.
But she had told me verbally, we had a verbal agreement that I could move in early, and that would not be the case because she knew that I was already in another lease. So it was in her goodwill that she allowed me to move in.
So you weren't a tenant.
I guess legally, no.
You were an invited guest.
I was a guest.
I love when I can reel them in. I love when they get reeled in, like fish. Remember, Bert, do you remember when you were a kid, they had those games at, I don't know if you ever went to Coney Island. You go to Coney Island? They had those fish tanks, and they gave you a fishing pole with a magnet at the end, you know, and you leaned over and you tried to catch as many as you could.
Yeah.
I liked that game as a child. All right, now back to you, Mr. Trenholm. So you had a few guests over to celebrate. What national holiday were we celebrating on the 18th of June?
My 22nd birthday, Your Honor.
Did you provide libation for this group?
Meaning? You'll have to forgive me, Your Honor.
Libation, drink.
I'm a music student.
Drink,
Yes, yes.
Drink, libation. It's a word. It's English.
Yes.
What kind of libation did you provide for this group?
I didn't go out and buy any because there wasn't going to be high volumes of people there. Most of my friends, the few that came over, brought their own. It was kind of like a bring your own alcohol type of thing.
Give me the approximate age of these people that you invited over.
The youngest one was me, being 22, going up to the oldest one, Mike, who's 26.
How many were 22?
3.
How many were 23?
2, I believe. I think maybe 123, 124, actually.
And how many were 25?
None.
You were the oldest.
He has my age wrong. I was actually 24, and my girlfriend is 26.
One girlfriend.
Yes.
She looks young.
Oh, shh. I'm not finished. Your name is?
Mike Schaefer.
Mike. Step up here, Mike. Mike, how did your girlfriend feel being the only woman there?
She wasn't the only woman there, actually.
Really? She wasn't the only woman there?
No, she wasn't.
How many women were there?
4 or 5.
4 or 5, including your girlfriend or excluding your girlfriend?
Including, I'd estimate.
So let's say there were 5 women. We have Mr. Trentholm, who was celebrating his birthday. He's one person. Then we have 3 other 22-year-olds. That makes 4 people. A couple of little older. That makes 6 people. You're 7. 7 and 5 women are 12 people.
I invited 6 people, and a few of them brought friends. Girlfriends.
Oh, well, that's why I was just looking here, because you seemed to suggest that there were just a few people. So that's a big gathering. And all these people brought their own alcohol.
Yep.
What did they do for food?
We ordered some pizza. There's a pizza place right across the street.
Okay, what time did your friends leave?
The majority of them left that evening, but Mike and his girlfriend and 2 of my other friends stayed.
Where did they sleep?
There's 2 pull-out couches in the living room of the apartment, so they stayed there, and I slept on the fold-out chair in my room.
What time did you get up in the morning?
It was relatively early, I believe 8 a.m., because I had to work that day as well.
What time do you have to be at work?
Noon. It was in New Hampshire. I had to travel.
So you had to get dressed to go to work?
Yes.
That didn't give you much opportunity to clean up.
I actually cleaned with my friends.
Yes.
Did you?
My girlfriend and my 2 female friends.
Do you have any proof of what your place looked like?
Oh,
when
I
you
do,
came home?
absolutely.
I'd like to see it, please.
I do have some pictures. And somebody,
Let's see
I just
what
want
kind of a cleaner Michael is.
I do want to say that somebody did sleep in my bed, and somebody had sex in my bed as well. There's nothing more humiliating than cleaning up somebody's used condom in the morning.
Miss Rast?
Yes.
What do you do for a living?
Well, I'm a student. I'm a full-time student, and I was working as a waitress at the time.
Okay. What are you studying?
I'm studying psychology.
What year are you in?
I am a junior now.
You seem like a relatively smart young woman. You've taken the basic psychology 101 and 103 and all those other psychology
Well, I can spot a when I meet one.
All right. Miss Rast, let me tell you this. Okay, without using profanity, it's really not necessary all the time. Sometimes using a butter knife to kill somebody is really much more fun than using, you know, a really sharp-edged tool.
That might be
true. It takes
true.
a lot longer.
A spoon.
Trust me, it works. A spoon works just as well. But what you should have learned so far in your studies is that a 22-year-old male has the equivalent age of a 7-year-old female.
That might even be a stretch.
And this one is 24. What do you do for a living?
I'm a loan officer at a mortgage company in New
You're
Hampshire.
a loan officer. Do you have a home?
I do.
Well, on the 18th of June, why didn't you go to your own home instead of staying over? Home is not an answer.
It was late. I believe it was about 2 in the morning, and we have to drive about an hour, so I thought it was safer to stay.
Why?
Because
Isn't it nicer to sleep in your own bed and wake up in your own bed in the morning?
it certainly is, but I'd hate to be on the roads tired.
How about drunk?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
No one slept in her bedroom.
She didn't say that they slept in her bedroom. She said that they had sex in her bedroom. There's a difference. That only takes, unfortunately, sometimes a split second.
And later today,
Some guy threatened to kill him, put a gun to his head.
Is he still around or is he in jail?
He's still around.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Caroline Rask says former friend Derek Trenholm owes for damages to her condo as the result of a party. Derek says the lawsuit is revenge for breaking up with Caroline's friend.
I don't know what this is here. Do you want to tell me what this is?
Oh, that if there's spots. That's a picture of my wall. That's beer on the wall.
Why is he smiling? Bird, would you ask him why he's smiling?
Why are you smiling?
Because if you had seen the condition of the place the next morning after we cleaned it, you would realize how ridiculous it was that looks.
I am an extremely OCD person. My
well, let me
house
tell you
is
something.
immaculate.
Oh, and these stains were on your sofa?
That's my sofa stain.
Oh. And how many used condoms did you clean up?
Just the one, but that's
in your bedroom?
Pretty vile enough, yes.
You're absolutely right. Now, you brought that computer.
Yes.
Want to tell me why you brought the computer?
Whenever I leave my apartment, whenever I'm not in town, I close the computer up, so it was like this and turned off when I left. I'm very protective of my computer. It has a lot of my work in it. And when I returned, the computer was open and it was on. And I do not use AOL Instant Messenger. I use just straight AOL. And Instant Messenger had been downloaded into my computer, and some people had used it, and I do have their screen names, so I do have evidence that they were on my computer. When I went to check my email, the computer was in a pool of beer. It looked like somebody had just wiped the front of it, but had not bothered to pick it up. I managed to get most of it out with a Q-tip. However, right in the mouse pad, there's still some beer that's visible if you look at it. And when the computer starts to heat up, the mouse sticks and doesn't work. And also the keys right here, they're broken, and the F4 is missing. So They're kind of glued on right now, just for functional purposes.
How much did you pay for that computer?
I want to say it was about $1,200. My dad bought it for me as a graduation gift from high school.
What do you have to say for yourself, sir?
Well, the computer she showed to me when I came back after the party, and she said, somebody
spilled beer all over it.
That's what she said. And she's pointing at it saying, there's beer all over it, it's broken. And I'm looking at it saying, like, how can you possibly say that? There's nothing on it. There's no marks, there's no liquid, there's no
What
stickiness.
about your friends who used it?
I don't know if any of my friends used it. There was very few people there. I'd be surprised if that's the case.
I can show him the screen names.
So she's got a few screen names written down. It's completely ridiculous. After this incident, she told me, you know, you broke my computer. I can't believe you did that. My password was stored in there for AOL. 2 weeks later, she deleted my AOL account. I signed on. It was gone.
There's no way I can...
Just a second.
She deleted my AOL. She deleted my mail. She deleted my address book. She deleted my buddy list. And she deleted all the documents that were contained within my filing cabinet.
Show me.
I can't. There's no way to do that if somebody deletes your stuff.
There's no...
What about the beer stains all over her couch?
Those were not there when we left. It's complete fabrication. This is more about a personal vendetta.
What about the condom in her bed, sir?
That's completely false, too. That's a complete lie.
Okay.
It's ridiculous.
I changed. Not 7, 6. 6.
I told you it might be an
6. You know what he didn't learn? He didn't learn from his parents when they said, when you do something wrong, you have to say, I'm sorry, I apologize.
No one slept in her bedroom.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Let me tell you something. She didn't say that they slept in her bedroom. She said that they had sex in her bedroom. There's a difference. That only takes, unfortunately, sometimes a split second.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Trentholm, you don't need 8 hours to use a condom. Right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, my only problem with Miss Rast, and I want to tell you something, Miss Rast, you see, I have a big problem with you, and the problem is you're only suing him for $780.
That's a problem.
As far as I'm concerned, he has to replace that computer that cost $1,200. He would have to replace these couches, according to what I see here, because you're never going to get those stains out, so I don't have to go any further. For some reason,
what about the money
I'm speaking! For some reason, you decided to be kind to Mr. Trentholm, something that I certainly wouldn't do under the circumstances, and sue him only for a nominal amount of money, which I am pleased and joyful about being able to award you. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $780. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I should have been suing him for a whole lot more for the cost of the computer to get fixed, as well as the damage in the apartment.
When you tell big enough lies, people listen to that over the truth.
I think that she just decided she'd lie and so that she would win the case.
I don't care if he was having, tea with the Queen. I don't care if he was having lunch with the Mafia. The moral of the story is he damaged my apartment, and he should have to pay for that.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Langari versus Cologne, step forward, please.
18-year-old student Nydia Langari is suing her ex-boyfriend, 21-year-old promoter Hector Cologne, for money loaned and the cost of a necklace.
Miss Langari, this young man used to be a boyfriend of yours, and you, according to you, loaned him some money. One small loan was for him to remain alive since somebody was after him because he owed them money. And the other loan was for some clothes that he wanted, clothes and shoes and stuff. And then you found out that he wasn't the man that you thought he was.
Exactly.
And you want a necklace back that you let him borrow.
Which I believe he pounded.
Now, Mr. Cologne says that you're crazy about him, and you gave him the money, and it was a gift. There was never any promise to pay you back, right? Mm-hmm. Because you are a special guy. You are a prize package. You are a unique man. Prime property.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nydia Langari says ex-boyfriend Hector Cologne owes for loans and a lost necklace.
When did you first start to date this Prince Charming?
In December 23rd, 2004.
When did you make the first loan to him?
I think 2 weeks after, when he told me that some guy threatened to kill him, put a gun to his head, and he was telling me this story, and I offered to borrow the money, and he said he would pay me within 2 weeks.
Tell me about the loan that you had with this guy who put a gun to your head.
I was doing something for him, and whatever.
No, I want you to be specific. I'm really interested. You were doing something for him. What were you doing?
I was selling drugs for him or whatever.
Okay, so he gave you drugs that you sold.
Yeah, and I supposed to owe him money. I spend the money. I owe them money.
What kind of drugs did you sell for him?
Weed.
Just marijuana.
Yeah.
How much did you sell?
It was pounds of it.
Do you love this? Do you love this? You know, remember that fishing game that I discussed with you, with the fishing poles and the magnets? Mr. Colon, you sold pounds of marijuana for this guy. You made the money, and then you went and you spent it on something else. What'd you spend it on?
Clothes.
So you bought clothes with it. Didn't you think that that was a dangerous thing to do? How long had you known this guy?
For like 2-3 years.
Did you sell for him retail or wholesale? Shh, quiet! Did you sell in bulk to other people or little bits? Little bits. On a street corner or from your house?
They used to call me.
So you had regular customers?
Yeah.
Okay, so he had threatened to kill you?
Yeah.
With a gun? How old are you?
I'm 21.
Do you have children? Yeah. Oh, I knew you were going to say that. I knew he was going to say. How many children do you have?
I got one daughter.
Where does she live?
With her mother in New York.
Okay. So you took the money from her and she gave you the what, $150?
180.
And you gave it to the drug dealer? Is he still around or is he in jail?
He's still around.
What's his name?
His name is...
And you gave back his money? And then you were back in business?
No, after that I started working in a restaurant.
Oh, that's good. So you went legitimate? Good. When you started working, why didn't you give her back the money?
Because she said that to not worry about it as long as I'm safe. She never said to pay her back.
That's a lie.
Okay. Now, what about the clothes that you bought for him?
He just told me to borrow the money, that's all. So he said he was going to give it back to me in 2 weeks.
Go ahead.
I used to pick her up at work sometimes on my day off, and she used to give me money here and there. She used to not tell me to pay her back. She used to say, don't worry about it.
What'd she say? Just here, take this and go buy yourself something?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? She was seriously in love with me.
That's a lie.
Okay. Now, what about the chain?
The chain, when she gave it to me, we was in her house or whatever, and she was not even supposed to have people in her house. We got caught in her house, and her mother was saying stuff in Spanish that she never raised up her daughter to have guys in the house or whatever. And the chain was already loose, and I never pawned her chain. It was
You just lost it?
I lost it. I was in the club, and it was loose, and I lost it.
Did she give it to you, or did she let you borrow it?
No, she gave it to me and said, there's a chain, so when you lay down, like when I go to sleep, to think about me.
Let me tell you something, Miss Langara. Mr. Colon, whatever he is, he's not a liar. I can tell you that right now, because right now he has acknowledged that he committed felonies for the last 3 years. Anybody that would acknowledge to me that he has been a drug dealer for a very long time, sold marijuana, bought it wholesale, sold it retail, is not going to lie to me about a stupid thing like $150 that you gave him or some clothes that you bought for him. It's not. Put your hand down. You're winning. So I have to decide whether these things that you gave him were gifts or they were loans. I don't think that they were loans. You got angry with him, according to you, because you found that he was lying to you, that he had a child, that he had a woman.
And that's the one I started to avoid him. I stopped the relationship.
Good.
Because I didn't want to be with somebody.
Miss Langara, that was very, very smart. I think you should stay away from Mr. Colon until you're really certain that he is gone legit. But these monies that you gave him, I don't believe were loans. I don't believe it, because I have to decide who's lying. And anybody so stupid as to acknowledge in front of 8 million people that he's a drug dealer is not going to lie to me about a couple of dollars in loans. Thank you very much. Case
Parties are excused. You may step out.
20-year-old secretary Tawny Tillinghast is suing her former best friend, 21-year-old office manager Tiffany Stott, for breaking a lease. Tiffany says she was threatened by one of Tawny's friends, and she is countersuing for a ruined mattress.
Quiet in the courtroom, please. Yeah, this is case number 556 on the calendar in the matter of Tillinghast versus Stott. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
How old are you, Tawny?
20.
And you?
21.
You two gals had been friends and decided to take an apartment together. According to your complaint, the defendant owes you some money because you leased this apartment and she moved out early. Didn't pay the rent for 3 months. The defendant says that her boyfriend settled with you. She's got a counterclaim. She said that your friends destroyed a mattress of hers. What prompted you to take an apartment together?
We've been best friends all our lives. We live next door to each other. I wanted to get out of my parents, and she wanted to move out to hide her relationship with her boyfriend over there.
That's you?
Yes.
Okay. How old are you?
59. 60. I just turned 60 yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You have children?
Yes.
How old?
35 and 37.
When did you lease this apartment?
In the end of May.
And how long was the lease?
6 months.
What was the rent?
$965.
So far, is all of that correct?
Yes.
You thought your parents wouldn't like the idea of going out with this gentleman?
Correct.
They think he was a little too old for you?
Correct.
When did you move out?
August 27th, 2004.
Why?
The plaintiff here, which Tony, she had her friends over. They were drinking, smoking pot, drinking beer. There was condoms on the floor, and one of her friends had threatened me, so I called the police and I moved out.
One of her friends had threatened you with what?
Verbally threatened, and also picked up a pen and acting like she was going to.
That's not true.
Just a second. When did this happen?
The night of August 27th.
What was the argument about?
The argument was about her friends and her all over my belongings, trashing some of my stuff that I had.
Were you spending every day at the apartment?
No.
You were spending most of the time at your boyfriend's home?
Yes.
So you were really just paying the rent for this apartment as a beard?
Yes.
Are you living together now?
Yes.
Have your parents accepted that?
No. They know about it, but no, they have not.
Did you give her any money for the remaining 3 months on the lease?
I gave her $400 in, I believe it was...
When?
September.
After you left?
Correct. And then another $400 in October.
Why?
Because the day was August 28th. It was a Saturday. After her friend had threatened to throw the manager off the balcony, again, the police were called. And when I moved out, there was a verbal agreement between her and I and my boyfriend that said we will pay you $400 this month and $400 next month to make a total of $800.
Are you still living in the apartment?
No.
When did you leave?
I left right after the lease because I couldn't afford it and my bills were past due.
Tell me about your friends in the apartment. Do they spend a lot of time in the apartment, Tony?
I have my witness, Ashley. She was in the apartment quite often because she was not doing well with her father, so she was there a lot.
Interesting. Come on up. Talk to me. You're Ashley?
Yes.
You were spending a great deal of time in the apartment? Mm-hmm. How many days? 5 days a week?
At least.
And where did you sleep?
In her bed.
Whose
in
bed?
Tawny's bed.
Tawny's bed. And where did she sleep?
She slept in her bed also.
Did you pay rent?
No.
After the defendant moved out, did you continue to go there 5 days a week?
No.
Why not?
I was looking for a job over at my dad's house.
When did you stop going over there 5 days a week?
Right after all the mattress incident happened.
You mean right after August 27th?
Yeah.
That's miraculous. So you mean right after all of this happened, you stopped going over there 5 days a week?
Well, because the manager didn't want people over there that wasn't paying rent, and they said that you couldn't be over there more than 72 hours.
She didn't want any conflict, so I just stayed there by myself most of the time and just went out when I wanted to be with my friends.
What were you doing at that time? Go to school?
No, I just do housework and clean up at her house. She'd go to work and I'd stay there and do all the chores and laundry and clean.
We had planned.
What, are you kidding me or what? How old are you?
18.
You get over on this baloney with your family? Huh?
No.
So what makes you think you're going to get over with this baloney on me? I mean, do you think that they hire me because I'm stupid?
No.
You think that they pay me all this money because I'm an idiot? You want me to believe that you're a house cleaner in her house. Is that what you want me to believe?
That's what I do.
What? That's what you do?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, she just stayed with me. She was trying to look for a job, and in the morning she'd clean up, and help me out.
What?
She was helping me out by
cleaning. Are you a big slob? Why should you? You're one person. You're one person. Why should you need to have a brigade of people to take care of you?
I was just helping her out because she needed a job and she couldn't stay with her dad, so she stayed with me a lot.
Right. That wasn't the arrangement, Tawny, my dear. The arrangement with her is it's her apartment and yours. You want her to pay half the rent. You pay half the rent. The two of you live there, not the two of you and anybody that you feel sorry for. So for half the time that she was paying rent and not living there, she was living there. And then miraculously, Miss Smarty Pants says that the day after this incident, when she left, she all of a sudden decided she could stay at home with her parents.
She actually went and stayed with her grandma for a while.
Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're talking to your parents?
Yes.
Great. Keep that open. That's the one constant that you have.
And later today,
he got very angry because I wasn't interested in dating him. He threatened my job. He threatened my life. He said, I know where you work. I know where you live. And I hung up the phone on him.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tawny Tillinghast says her former best friend, Tiffany Stott, owes for breaking a lease. Tiffany says Tawny's partying forced her out.
She paid you. She came home. She found things going on there that she didn't like, people living there that weren't supposed to be living there, and she was gracious enough to pay you for 2 months, or a substantial part of it for 2 months, and she wasn't there at all.
She was never there to begin with.
I got it. I got it. That's why you had the apartment to yourself. You could invite anybody who you wanted to come on over and live there, which you did. So she was very nice to you. You should have started to advertise immediately when she moved out to get a new roommate. Did you do that?
I tried to see if any of my friends...
Did you advertise for a new roommate?
It was only a one-bedroom. No one wants to share a one-bedroom.
Okay. Now, are you pursuing your counterclaim for the ruined mattress?
I don't need to. Once she brought this upon me, I figured I might as well bring something upon her.
Well, by bringing it upon her, you're also visiting it upon Bird and me. You don't want to do that, do you?
No.
Perfect. What do you do?
I'm an office manager.
You're talking to your parents?
Yes.
Great. Keep that open. That's the one constant that you have. Okay?
Okay.
Good. You withdrawing your claim for the mattress?
Yes.
Perfect. And your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
This girl is my best friend since I've known her forever. She let some 60-year-old man change her into someone she was not.
I remember telling Tiffany, I said, watch it because Tawny is kind of wild.
Pot, smoking.
I did party. What can you say? I'm like a regular 20-year-old. I'm not like a 20-year-old dating a 60-year-old man.
She was arrested at Mervyn's for stealing merchandise, and she was ordered to pay.
She used to be sweet. Now she calls me and yells and harasses me on the phone with him whispering in the background, telling her what to say, you know.
Tawny said she had changed. That's fine. But obviously she hadn't changed.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Haynes versus Lang. Step forward, please.
County Inspector Douglas Haynes is suing his former friend, event coordinator Kimberly Lang, for the return of furniture he loaned her. Kimberly claims Douglas gave her the furniture.
Mr. Haynes, you and the defendant had a friendship, according to what I read. You met at a car dealership and you had dinner a couple of times. And it is your claim that you loaned the defendant some furniture that you had because you were doing some remodeling in your house or garage. And you now want the furniture back.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Lang says that you never loaned her this furniture. You said that you were getting rid of it, but you'd like to have it. She said yes. She did in fact take the furniture because she was new to the area and didn't have any furniture that she had brought with her. That it was not a loan, but a gift. First, show me the furniture that you allegedly loaned to her. I see two people, one with a beard and his shirt open, and one lady with glasses on.
Those are my previous neighbors, and that's the stereo cabinet behind them.
Okay. And then we have a brass bed.
Yes.
Okay. Two dressers, I see. What about this sofa? You want this back?
No, it's 23 years old.
Looks as if it was 23 years old. long did you know Miss Lang before you loaned her this furniture?
Approximately 1 month.
And tell me the circumstances surrounding your loaning her the furniture.
Well, I'm putting an addition on my garage plus a room on top, and there was some heavy beams I had to remove. I didn't want to damage it, so I was going to put it in storage. And Kimberly didn't have any furniture yet. So I mentioned that, well, if she can store it for me and use it, then that would help me out. And on January 2nd, we delivered the furniture, but I noticed that she already had 2 dressers. And then we had some disagreements. And
could you look at me?
Oh, okay. We had some disagreements, and we were going to meet for breakfast.
Could you look at me? Straight on. I mean, I don't want to embarrass you if you have something wrong with your neck. I just want you to look over here so I can tell what your eyes are telling me in addition to what your mouth is telling me, Mr. Haynes.
Okay. And on January 13th, we were going to meet for breakfast.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't show up, and it upset me. So I went over to see her, and I decided that I didn't want any more to do with the relationship, and I called her up and said, I don't want to do this anymore. May I have my furniture back? And she did call me on the 17th and said I could not have the furniture back, that I made a big mistake and I blew it, and also that I'd have to take her to court to get the furniture back.
Who is this person?
This is my sister, and she had 2 conversations with Kimberly when we were delivering the furniture.
Okay, step up. Tell me your name.
Sandra Haynes.
Who delivered the furniture to Miss Lang?
My brother and Kimberly both.
What did you have to do with it?
Doug was telling me, with Kimberly there, that Kimberly had agreed to store his furniture, and it was a convenient situation because she had no furniture, and so it kind of helped them both out.
Okay. That's it?
That's it. They didn't stay that long.
Do you have any other conversation with her?
Yes, I did.
When?
I believe after she got back from Los Angeles on the 17th. I called her because she had let Doug know that day that he was not getting back his furniture. So I asked Kimberly, why aren't you giving my brother back his furniture? And she said that she was angry at Doug. Doug was angry at her. She got her parents involved. They didn't want her having anything to do with him, and it was out of her hands. Number 2, yes, this was payback time. She had to get back at my brother because of breaking.
Don't tell me breaking up. I'm not interested.
Yes.
I just want to know what she said to you and what you said to her.
Conversation. And I said, I do not understand. Why can't we just come over and pick up the furniture? It has sentimental value. It's my parents' old wedding set.
And she said?
She said she'd think about it.
Okay, good. Thank you. Now I'll hear you.
Okay. I had met Doug 2 times prior to that date at the car dealership that I worked at. He was a customer. He had subsequently made a phone call to me that he had some furniture that he needed to get rid of, and he knew from our previous conversation that I had an empty apartment and that my stuff was in storage in Orange County. Asked me if I'd be interested in coming by and taking a look at the furniture because he needed to get rid of it. He was doing this remodel. I went by there. It was either the 31st or the 1st of December, or January 1st. Looked at the furniture. The next day was when he actually delivered it to my place. I did drop by his sister's house, yes, and met her for the first time, but I was quite surprised that Doug had already explained to her the arrangement that was made with the furniture because she seemed to know what was going on. The furniture was not a loan, it was actually a gift. And so I wasn't at liberty to explain to her what was going on, but I was quite surprised that she understood what was going on.
Just a second. Sure. She suggested to you that the furniture was a loan or a gift?
No. She stated, so my brother delivered the furniture this morning, yes. And how does it look, and did you set it up, and so forth. And I explained to her at the time we did set up the bed. At that point, it was pouring rain. We had a mattress in the back of Doug's truck that was being delivered to my parents. I was sleeping on the floor on a mattress. So we stopped by her house on the way to my parents to drop off that mattress. I didn't hear from Doug again until the 17th of January. I got back from Orange County. There was a message on my machine, and at that point was when he asked me to dinner. I refused to have dinner with him, and I was not interested in dating Doug. He got very angry because I wasn't interested in dating him, and he started demanding his furniture back. I don't know why he was getting upset with me at that point. He threatened my job. He threatened my life. He says, I know where you work. I know where you live. This is going to escalate, and he made some threats, and I hung up the phone on him. That's when his sister called me.
Miss Lang?
Yes.
You sound like an intelligent lady.
Thank you.
He sounds, according to you, like a nut.
Yes.
And the only nexus that you had to this nut was these pieces of furniture that you had had for 15 days.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So if I were being a smart person, I would say to myself, miscommunication, it was a gift and now he wants it back, but he's a real nut and he's threatening me. Douglas, get a police officer, get your truck, come over and get your furniture. We now have nothing to do with each other. There is no reason for you to call me. There's no reason for you to have anything to do with me. That's what a smart person says.
Under normal circumstances?
Not a stupid person who says, now I'm dealing with a nut.
You're right.
And I have furniture that I've had for 2 weeks. Furniture that belonged to your parents may have some sentimental value to you, sir. It's junk. I mean, I've looked at it. It's junk. The only thing that looks anywhere that somebody might want to keep is this brass bed. And I may not be a furniture maven, but I have a pretty good eye. The only value that that bedroom set has is sentimental value, because other than that, it has no value. Now,
Your Honor, I do have. When I went to Orange County, when I rented a pickup truck, and I do have a receipt here that shows when I actually picked up the truck and when I actually returned it, there was furniture that I left behind because now I had an apartment full of furniture. I now had 2 dressers, a bed, a coffee table, a couch. There were things that I left behind in storage. So when
are you telling me, Miss Lang, that the couch you left behind was not as nice?
No, I didn't have
just a second. The couch that you left behind was not as nice as this couch? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
That's not what I'm saying. I did not have a couch in storage.
Right. I mean, I was a little confused. Give him back his furniture. Now!
Thank you.
And say, I'm going to borrow that mattress from my parents again if I have to have a mattress to sleep on. But I don't want Mr. Haynes in my life. I don't want his sister in my life. I don't want this nut calling my job. I just want it over. And I'm going to give him back his parents' furniture so he can put his underwear in it, and give him back his brass bed so he can sleep on it. And I don't want to have anything to do with me anymore. Is that fine, Douglas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. You took the trash and you threw it on her porch.
The fist started flying,
She hit me, I hit her.
and a quiet community turns ugly.
She grabbed hold of me in the back of my hair.
Now these two are trashing each other.
Threw me over the I turned around and it got me right here. And
Pay attention to me. I'm speaking.
The garbage got thrown out. Will this case?
Okay, but you also live there.
Yes.
And it is your claim that the defendant instigated an assault for which you were arrested. You want to be reimbursed for all of your medical bills, for your lost wages, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The defendant says that you were actually the aggressor in this assault, and she is counterclaiming. Now, the problem that developed between the two of you had to do with trash.
Yes, ma'am.
And there was a trial with regard to this assault. You were the complainant.
Yes.
And that case was dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Okay, I was in my living room playing Nintendo with my son and my nieces, and all of a sudden I just heard a bang, and I looked, and it was trash on my door. And basically, I knew it was Marianne because a week before she had told me, you know how they deliver the city trash cans?
No, I don't know how they deliver city trash cans.
Well, they deliver the city everybody has them now, the city trash dumpsters. Well, they had delivered them, and I used my trash can, so she put a note on my door saying...
She told you, don't use the trash cans, use the dumpster.
Yes, ma'am.
And you put your trash in the trash can.
Yes.
So that you heard a thud outside, and you saw your trash where?
On my front porch against my door.
Okay. Did you see who put it there?
Well, actually, I saw her walking away. I didn't see her put it there. I saw her walking away from there, the only person.
So you assumed it was her. So what did you do?
Well, I went to the door to see who put it there. I saw her walking up, and so I went. I put on shoes. I wasn't dressed. I had on a gown, so I went and threw on some sweatpants and a shirt. And actually, I went out, put it back on her porch.
And how far is her porch from your porch?
It's probably like 8 feet. I stood at the stairs and I kind of tossed it back on her porch.
So you didn't go up on her porch. You
No.
took the trash and you threw it on her porch.
I tossed it, yeah, just like she did mine. But she wasn't in there.
You didn't see her throw the trash on your
Well, she
porch.
admits it.
Shh. I want you to try answering my questions.
Okay.
You didn't see her put the trash on your porch.
No, I did not.
You came out, saw the trash on your porch, and flung it on her porch.
Yes, ma'am.
What happened next?
So then I went back into my house and it came flying back against my door again.
You didn't see who it was?
No, I saw it was her.
And what did you do next?
Basically,
Now you got your garbage on your porch.
It was tit for tat. I mean, in actuality.
I asked you what you did next.
I went and I threw it back on hers again.
That's
And
not
then
true,
what?
Your Honor.
Just a second. And what happened next?
She came out and pepper sprayed me, and the gardener was a witness to that.
So she came out and she sprayed you in the face.
Yes.
What happened next?
So then when she sprayed me, it's like it got into, because I actually was turning, when she opened her door, I was turning to go back to my apartment. So when I turned to go back to my apartment, when it got in my eye, when I turned back around, when I heard her door open, I turned around, and so it got me right here in this eye. So in actuality, I held my eye and I went to grab her can from her because she was walking towards me spraying. So I went to grab the can of pepper spray from her, and then we struggled over it. Like, trying to get it away from each other because I was going to spray her back, to be honest with you, because she sprayed me.
Okay, go ahead.
So then as we struggled over it, she hit me because it wasn't getting loose. I hit her and we hit each other, and we struggled over this can. And basically with one hand on the can and one hand striking each other.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Just not going to get to you in a minute. Go ahead.
Then we ended up over a fence where Mr. had came down and he grabbed me from behind and choked me and dragged me back. And at that time, Marianne came with a rake, and I grabbed, and while he's choking me, and I'm on the ground. He's a director of the condominium, one of the directors. He owns the apartment or condo above Marianne.
So he saw the scuffle, evidently, and went out and restrained you, and she went and got a rake. Is that what you just said?
Well, he didn't see it. Well, he was upstairs, and then he came down. And so, yes, and then she grabbed a rake from the gardener.
Yes.
And came at me with it, and it's like as I'm trying to pry his hands away from me, I'm on my knees. I reached up when she came at me. I saw through my peripheral vision a person approaching me, so I just reached up at the time she came at me with it, and I grabbed it from her.
And
then I tried to get Mr. off because I'm asthmatic and I couldn't breathe, so I'm trying to get him off of me. Then he starts letting go of me as I'm standing up, catching my breath, because it took a few seconds before I could catch my breath. He, I guess to grab the rake back from me, he stepped towards me, and I hit him with the rake. I swung the rake, it hit him in his head, and I dropped the rake, and I walked into my house, and I called 911.
You were, in fact, convicted of assaulting Mr.
I was found guilty.
You were found guilty. You were convicted.
Yes.
Of assaulting Mr.
With a lesser battery, yes.
But acquitted after a trial with regard to the defendant.
Yeah, they dropped charges against me for her.
All right, so now you tell me your version of what happened.
Could I go back a little bit deeper than that?
To when?
October of 1999?
No. Stay with this. If there was bad blood between the two of you, that's not relevant.
It kind of sets the scene, but anyway, 14 cans were delivered in the parking lot along the edge of the back into the parking lot real close to one of the units. The only reason they were delivered there was because we were going to do an enclosure out where the dumpster is on the street and then move the 14 cans out there. So it was like a temporary layover. So I delivered a notice to all units and let them know that until further notice, please use the dumpster. So a few days later, there's 2 cans that are full of trash. Well, actually, one was full of trash. It was unit number 9. It had the numbers on each one of the cans.
What unit are you in?
That's not true.
Just answer my question.
I'm unit number 9.
You're number 9?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
And I
delivered a notice to both unit number 9 and 11 and reiterated the fact that we have a dumpster and you don't use the trash cans, and please take the trash out of there and put it in the dumpster. Number 11 came to me and she said, I'm so sorry. She said, I debated whether I should do that or not. And the next thing I know, I get this back on my door. They shouldn't be there then. You empty them yourself and kiss my crazy, which was typical of the conversations I would have with Paula over parking issues.
Just a second. Shh. Why did you write her this nasty note?
Well, I didn't. In actuality,
why did you write her this nasty note?
I did not write that exact what it says. I mean, and basically that is copied on there. I mean, because I saw that when I went to trial. I did say that they shouldn't be there, but I did not say the B word. I mean, I didn't call her in actuality.
No, you wrote this down.
No, I wrote that you're crazy. The crazy part, but I did not write.
Yeah, you wrote a nasty note.
Oh no,
you were crazy.
yeah, I mean,
you wrote crazy. Told it empty.
Did you know why?
I'm speaking.
Okay.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Paula Haywood says neighbor Marianne Wigner pepper sprayed her during an argument over garbage cans. Marianne claims Paula instigated the fight.
Can I ask you a question? Put it down.
Okay.
What's the difference if the condominium where you're living says, please don't use the trash cans, please use the dumpster? What's the skin off your nose in taking your trash and putting it in the dumpster?
Okay, I have pictures. It was in evidence, but basically, and she gave me a note. She has a note that says, you know, the dumpsters are overloaded. We're going to be getting a lock or something because we think other people are using our dumpsters. And, you know, don't put your trash on the ground outside of the dumpster.
So, madam,
so there was
talking
nowhere
about
else.
being civilized. So if you get this note and if the dumpster is full, why don't you say, listen, I got the note and I'd be more than happy to comply, but they're full, so I have to use the cans.
She had never gave me that. I do my job. I was working from 8 to 8, doing caregiving for a handicapped child. And I lost my job, making $100 a night, but I never received that letter. She put that on my door, actually, when she threw the trash back the second time. That was attached to the trash can.
I don't know if I believe you. I think that you copped an attitude. That doesn't mean you're entitled to get sprayed with pepper spray. I'm not there yet, but I believe you copped an attitude. Now, you find the trash on your door. Who threw the trash on her porch?
Bob actually put the bag on her porch and said, please take this trash out to the dumpster where it belongs.
Why would Mr. take the trash and put it on her porch? I mean, that's sort of an aggressive act to take it and toss it on her porch.
I didn't expect him to do that. What happened was that there were previous confrontations with Paula Haywood over parking incidents, and I was attacked by her in my home. She came in my home, she tore the phone off my wall, she jabbed at me, and she socked me in the eye. And then her mother, before the police came out, her mother did the same thing. She walked right in my home. I'm getting ready to pack.
So why, those are the things you want to talk about from before.
Yeah, right. So,
so you're not happy with these people as tenants.
Right, and I've had other...
Now, after she took the trash and tossed it on your porch,
yes,
what did you do?
I didn't throw it. I put it down in front of her door, and then I walked away.
Go ahead. What happened next?
Then I was with the maintenance man in front of my unit, and I was helping him pick up some weeds and some trash and things. The next thing I know, I felt something behind me. I had previous to that, picked up some pepper spray because of my previous incidents with her. And so I had the pepper spray in my hand, I heard something, and I turned around, and she has this bag that I had already inspected. In fact, here's the pictures. It has that it was her bag. There were 3 jugs of glass in there. So when I saw her hurling it, and it was about ready to come down on me, I pushed the spray. I didn't really know how to use the pepper spray, but I sprayed it. It hit her in the chin. I did see that. It didn't hit her in the eye. It hit her in the chin. The next thing I know, all hell broke loose, and she grabbed a hold of me in the back of my hair. She threw me over the 3-foot iron railing, and she took that can out of my hand, and she beat me. I've got pictures here of what she did to me. I've got bruises on my ribs, my eyes, and my forehead.
Your Honor.
Just a minute. You told your story.
Okay. Please get a chance.
Did you see these photographs?
And yes, I did.
Just answer my
yes,
question.
Yes, I did.
You have seen these. These are pretty
yes,
serious.
Yes, I saw them.
These are pretty serious.
Okay, can I please say something, Your Honor?
Just a second.
Okay.
I'm speaking. What were you doing yard work, holding pepper spray?
Because of some previous incidents with...
You mean you walk around all the time with pepper spray?
I do now, since she came in my home.
You
and
walk
attacked
around
me.
all the time carrying pepper spray?
Not all the time. Just if I'm outside doing some work and the parking situation, especially on the weekend, gets pretty bad. And she's not the only one that retaliates. There's 4 of them, and I'm by myself. And these 4 people lash out quite a bit. No one has ever attacked me, though, except for Paula and her mother.
Do you have any photographs of your injuries?
No, let me tell you this. First of all, I'm dark skinned. I did admit I hit her. I did not bruise. She said she hit me, we fought. Yes,
I didn't say. I just asked you.
Oh, no, I don't, because you know why I don't bruise.
The answer is...
No, I mean, I don't.
You don't have
I do have a medical record.
Then I'd like to see it. I'd like to see your medical record.
Okay.
All right, so you went and took x-rays, and the x-rays were normal. Is that right?
It says it was a reversal and that means I had a sprain. And I wore a hard neck brace for 7 days, and then had to go back, and I wore a soft one for 7 days.
Now, Miss Haywood, when you saw the trash that she had put back on your porch, and you see her walking by?
I saw her throw it. I mean, I was out the window.
Just answer my question.
Okay,
You're
yes,
not going to think
yes.
faster than I am. I guarantee it, madam. You started this whole problem because you didn't follow the rules.
Her rules?
I'm making that judgment. There were 14 units, and you have the problem. That doesn't mean that you are responsible for your getting sprayed in the face, but I have to find out, when you saw the trash that she admits she put back on your porch, pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. Did you walk down the steps with the trash?
No, it's up the steps. I went up the steps.
You had to walk up?
No, it's like 3 steps. I mean, they're not...
A step is a step. Do you have to walk down the steps to get to where she was, or did you have to walk up the steps to get to where she was?
Both.
I have 3 steps down, then 3 steps up. Okay. And then her door is like 6 feet or 6 feet from the step I threw the bag from while she was inside.
Where was she when you tossed it?
She was inside her house because she came out, the door flew open, I turned around, she sprayed me.
Now, you were doing work with the gardener?
Yes.
You were working with him outside?
Yes.
Don't you think he would have been a good witness here?
Yes. He was let go because of his slowness and independent. He wasn't dependable.
Did he testify at the criminal trial?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
He did?
He testified, and I have all the tapes.
Can you see if you can find that on the tape?
What happened? ¿Qué pasó? Cuando yo miré, Marian salió de la puerta. When I saw Marian coming out of the door, diciendo cosas totalmente. They were orally saying things to one another. They were arguing. Did you see how the fight started? ¿Usted cómo empezó la pelea? No, porque cuando ellas estaban... Cuando Marian salió de la puerta, ella también. No, because when Marian came out of the door, yo me volteé. I turned around.
The witness clearly says that he saw you, Miss Wagner, coming out the door.
I was at my door because it's right there in the same general area that the yard is.
I understand that, but he clearly said he saw you coming out the door, which means that you weren't out doing yard work. I have to believe one version or the other, and it seems much more logical to me that you saw the trash being thrown on your door, you ran and you got your pepper spray, and you came out your door and you sprayed her with it. I say that because if you're outside doing yard work, it means you're working with both your hands. It's sort of cumbersome to walk around holding a can of pepper spray. In any event, you tell me, Miss Haywood, what you believe your damages were as a result of this unfortunate incident.
I lost my job. I've lost wages. I have a note for my job.
How did you lose your job?
Okay, at the time that this happened, I was making, I have it right here, I was making $100 a night.
Just a second. How did you lose your job?
Because if she never would have initiated, I was not found guilty. I was found not guilty, or there was charges dropped against Mary Ann. So she was the initiator. None of this would have ever took place, ma'am.
So, just a second. Is your claim here that because you were convicted of one assault, that is with regard to Mr. and that conviction would never have taken place but for the fact that she started this altercation with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your cause of action here?
Yes, ma'am. And
sorry. You were not incarcerated because of her. You didn't lose your jobs because of her. You overreacted with regard to Mr. You hit him with a rake that they
she came
probably
at me with.
considered a dangerous instrument, and you were convicted with regard to that.
I mean, because of the fact this woman her actions caused all this to take place. Because I even have it where he choked me, and I have the testimony.
Let me explain something to you.
Okay, I don't know.
The money that you lost.
She
taking care of
did
Yuki.
the wrong thing. She should not have come out her door and sprayed you with the pepper spray. But that doesn't mean that you can sue her because you got into an altercation and then you assaulted somebody else. So your case, Miss Hayward, is dismissed, as is your counterclaim, Miss Wagner. You sprayed her with the pepper spray. She reacted, you got injured, but you were the aggressor with the pepper spray. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I do think it was unfair because I never had a criminal record ever in my life.
You can't talk to her. You can't even say hi to her without her saying some obscene sentence.
Went over to a friend's house to visit. You pulled your car into your friend's driveway, right?
That's correct.
The defendant also lives in the house. She arrived sometime later. It is your claim that she pulled her car right up to the bumper of your car, gave it a little bit of a nudge. Nudge? Nudge? No. Nudge. Thank you. Nudge is what I am.
No.
Nudge is what you are. Nudge, nudge. And she damaged the back end of your car.
Yeah, the rear bumper.
The rear bumper of your car. You wanted to pay the damage. When did this happen?
It was June 2nd.
What time did you arrive at your friend's house?
About 6 or 7 p.m. after dinner. We'd gone out to pick up dinner.
And was yours the only car parked in the driveway?
When I parked the car, yes, it was.
When did you see any damage to the car?
We came outside about 11 o'clock. What happened is that she had come home while we were inside, obviously. And we went outside, the witness and I, and one of the roommates who had her keys. At this house, the parking is a very difficult situation. So all of the roommates leave their keys downstairs and everyone has permission to move each other's cars. So we went outside and...
Because you wanted to leave?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So when we got outside, I saw that the cars were parked in very close proximity. Her front bumper was touching my rear bumper and it was dark out. So I had him move her car back and shine her headlights on my rear bumper. And as he backed up, I saw scratches and chips on my bumper that hadn't been there before line up with her metal license plate as he backed off.
What kind of car did you have?
I drive a Volvo S70.
And what kind of car does she drive?
A Ford Explorer.
Big car.
Big car.
Did you speak to her about it?
Yes. We went inside and one of the roommates got her from upstairs. She came downstairs and I asked her if she knew if she may have touched my car. And she said indeed she had. She had tried to move it forward a couple feet.
Ludicrous.
I don't want to hear you yet.
I'm sorry.
She tried to move it forward a couple feet because she was sick of getting tickets for having her car hanging over the edge of the driveway because it's the city's property and you can get tickets for that. And she also said that she thought that people did that all the time and she thought she could move it because her car was an SUV and mine wasn't. So she didn't think it would be a problem. And I told her that there was damage on my car that hadn't been there before and I expected her to pay for it. She said that was okay. She apologized. She asked me if I knew how much it was going to be. I told her that I didn't, but I thought it would probably be a couple $100s. I offered to let her go outside and look at the damage. She declined to do that. I told her that I'd call her with an estimate. She said that was fine, gave me her phone number, and I left.
And did you call her with an estimate?
I called her 11 days later with an estimate for $307, which I have right here.
Why didn't you go outside and look at the car?
First of all, he had never
No,
asked...
just a second. I asked you a question. My question to you is, why didn't you go outside to look at the car?
Well, there's a problem with that statement, and that is that he never asked me to go out and look at the car.
Did he tell you that he believed that your car had caused damage to his?
No, all that he said was that, you know, I noticed the cars were very close. If there should be a problem, can I give you a call? And I said, absolutely. Here's my phone number. I knew that there wasn't any damage done because I knew I hadn't hit his car. I expected to hear from him if there was a problem. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 5 days later, no call. I assumed there was nothing wrong and that I was indeed correct, that I hadn't damaged his car. All of a sudden,
that doesn't answer my question. Clearly, when he came inside and spoke to you, you had some indication that he believed that there might be some damage to the car. clearly, because you just told me you waited 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. So an intelligent person would say, well, let's go outside with some flashlights and take a look at it right now and see if, in fact, there was any damage. So I'm going to repeat my question. Why didn't you, at that point, go outside and take a look at the car?
Because he didn't say there was any risk of damage, and so I didn't think
So
there
you
was
just
anything
gave
to
me your
look
phone number because you thought he wanted your phone number?
Well, you know, he was kind of cute. You never know. Maybe we could go on a date. I'm kidding. Anyway.
I'm not. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $307. That's all.
Ooh, parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, I'd just like to give a shout out to my E-Town girls, all my U-Mish girls, 6 Bart and K13 family. Mwah.
Well, I think Judge Judy's big line is beauty fades, but dumb is forever. And as soon as her beauty fades, I think she'll just be dumb forever.
And now the next case.
All parties on Huguin Merrill versus Leyugan. Step forward.
46-year-old nurse Michelle Morel and her daughter, 16-year-old Jessica Huguin, are suing Jessica's former friend, 18-year-old student Ann Leyugan, for keying her car at school.
What is your name?
Michelle Merle.
How are you related to her?
I'm her mother.
And this was your car that was involved?
It's her car, but I'm the registered owner of it, but
okay,
it's her
that's
car.
why you're here?
Yes.
Okay, but you had nothing to do with this case. You didn't see anything. You weren't there?
No.
Good. Have a seat. According to your complaint, the defendant used to be a friend of yours. She's no longer a friend of yours. You started dating a boy that used to be her boyfriend.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's correct.
And according to you, that's when the trouble started between the two of you, and the defendant keyed your car. And this was at the school parking lot.
Yes.
So tell me what happened on that date.
I went to the school to pick up a friend, and she had decided to go with someone else, and so I was getting ready to leave, and I saw Ann's car at the end of the parking lot, and I did not want another incident like the first one that had happened, and so I turned around and went back to the school, and I got out of my car, and I saw Ann following me into the school, and so I just kept walking, and she's behind me saying that I'm going to knock your teeth out, and so I just kept walking into the school, and I went into the office, and I saw Ann and her sister walk by the office, look at me, and then they turned back around and went outside of the school. I was on the phone with my mom at that time, and then I went to the windows, and I had saw Ann and her sister walk by the driver's side of my car, and then that's it.
That's what you saw?
Yeah.
There came a time when you went back outside to your car?
When my mom and her friend had shown up at the school.
So you waited inside until they came?
Yeah.
And the reason you called your mother was to sort of escort you out of the school?
Yeah.
Because you were afraid of a confrontation with her?
Yeah.
And describe what you saw when you went to your car.
My mom's friend actually had noticed the side of the car.
Don't tell me what anybody else noticed. Tell me what you saw.
I saw that the whole entire side of my driver's side had been keyed from the front of the car to the end of the car.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old Jessica Huguin says former friend, 18-year-old Ann Leyugan, keyed her car and is denying the charge.
Let me see the photographs, which I'm sure you have. Okay, I'll hear you.
I just know that I picked up my sister once after I had my baby. My baby was maybe, I think, 2 weeks old. I went there to pick up my sister. She was with my former teacher, and Josh, my fiance, was on his way with my son. He's a witness to what happened, and me and my sister, we just went back into the school to show my former teacher the baby. I walked back over to Josh's car and I left, and I never even keyed her car. She doesn't even go to school there. She goes to an alternative school, and I would never key her car. I didn't even know what she drove. When I stopped being friends with her, she was only 15 years old.
Do you have any witnesses who were there?
Yeah, my fiance.
Step up. Tell me your last name.
Caps, Joshua Caps.
You are the father of her child?
Yes, I am.
What time did you arrive at the school that day?
No later than after Ann showed up. She was outside, and I saw her sister talking to her former teacher.
Approximately what time?
Like 2:36.
So before you arrived, you don't know what she was doing?
No.
So she was there alone with her sister?
Yeah, and Mrs., which was the teacher.
Outside when you saw her?
Yeah.
And after you saw her, you showed Mrs. the baby?
Ann and her sister came up to me right when I parked in the parking lot. They told me that they were going to run inside and show Mrs. her son, And they went inside and came right back out.
When you arrived, the girls had already parked their car
Yeah.
and was standing outside the school.
Yes.
She came up to you in the parking lot,
Anne and her sister did, yes.
took the baby, and went back inside.
Yes.
Then came outside.
Mm-hmm.
Did you wait for her?
Yeah.
Did she leave with you or with her sister?
She took her car, and she took her sister. She was there to pick up her sister, and I followed them.
So she drove alone to the school if she was there to pick up her sister.
Yeah.
Why do you think that she would make up this story about seeing you going over near her car?
Because she's mad because I just stopped being friends with her. And
yeah, but her car got keyed.
There was a lot of people at that school that didn't like her, which is why she decided to drop out of that school and go to the alternative, because she didn't get along with a lot of people.
She wasn't there that long. She wasn't at school that long that day.
I don't know how long she was there.
Well, she didn't go to school there. She wasn't there for the whole day.
Well, I went to pick up my sister.
Talking about her. Step up, please. Did you see the car that morning?
Yes, I saw the car the whole day until Jessie went to school to pick up her friend.
When you say you saw the car the whole day, she left from your house to go to the school to pick up her friend?
Yes, and that's about maybe 3 miles, 4 at the most.
But you had seen the car?
Yes.
No question in your mind?
No question in my mind whatsoever.
There was no damage to the car when she left?
No. Your Honor?
Yes.
I'm not sure if this is the time to bring this up. We also, you were talking about Jessica being afraid, and that's why she went back in the school. We have an anti-harassment order against Anne for protection, and I have a copy of that if you want to see that. This is the one that we have filed,
I also have, since she's gotten a restraining order, she has been in my work asking for my new address, and I have affidavits of people that I work with.
And this is the court copy that was actually granted. And Jessica had a baby on the 21st of June and was in the hospital she was released on Saturday. And then she was home, so I'm not sure.
I have affidavits of two. I
don't read affidavits.
What?
I don't read affidavits.
Okay, well, I have them.
Okay, whether you have them or not, I hear witnesses. You attended a court hearing?
Yes, we did, Your Honor.
Was there a full hearing?
Yes.
There was testimony taken. Is that right? And after the testimony is taken, there was a protective order issued. Is that right?
Yes.
Do you have a lawyer?
I work full-time, and I'm a full-time college student, and I had to pay my rent. I can't afford a lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, the court made specific findings after a hearing. The testimony with regard to the application for the protective order dealt with 2 incidents. First incident, which we have not gone into today, which involves a stalking, threatening kind of incident, and then the second incident which involved the school. The court heard the testimony of all witnesses. How many witnesses were there aside from both of you? Any other witnesses?
Him, my fiance, my mom, and my sister.
The court found that the current contact between the parties was initiated by the respondent only, that's you, that the respondent's course of conduct appears to be designed to alarm, annoy, and harass the petitioner, that was her. Contact by the respondent with the petitioner or the petitioner's family has not been limited in any manner by previous court order, which means there was no prior restraining order. And the court ordered you to remain from making any attempts to contact her, going within 2 city blocks of her residence or workplace.
She doesn't work.
Well, evidently the court didn't believe your fiancé or your sister.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I have to make a determination based upon the testimony that I've heard today, and the testimony that I've heard today that I find most credible is that you keyed her car. Can I please see an estimate of the damage?
Your Honor, I also brought an estimate for a rental car. It's the only car that we have, and at the top of the
I'm not
estimate...
taking into consideration your rental car.
Okay.
What year car is this?
A 93 Pontiac Grand Am.
93 car can be painted for less than $2,218. You can find a paint job for less money than that for an 8-year-old car. I suggest you do that.
Okay.
Bird, I'm not really good at this. How much can you get a nice paint job for?
I really couldn't say, Judge. Depends on what kind of paint job and depends on who you get to do it.
Can you get a nice paint
Your
job
Honor.
for $800?
Your Honor, excuse me. I don't mean to interrupt. I have another estimate here. I didn't hand both of them. I've got two different ones.
A little more reasonable.
Well, now you're talking a little bit better, $1,450.
Depends on how far it was keyed, Judge.
Keyed the whole side. $1,450 sounds much more reasonable to me.
Yeah.
I have those two estimates. Should have handed me both. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $1,400. That's
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She slept with my ex-boyfriend.
I hope that Ann will just leave everything in how it is.
He doesn't say that that's his kid.
I'm just glad it's over, and I hope Ann will put this to rest and leave us alone.
She just doesn't even know who the father of her child is.
Get my car fixed, that's all I want.
I think that there's a lot of girls at Mount Spokane that hate her guts, and anybody could have done it.
If someone's gonna follow me into the school, more than likely, she did it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Yim versus Barbara. Step forward, please.
30-year-old clothing marketer O'Larry Yim is suing her ex-boyfriend, 41-year-old Patrick Barber, for the return of a computer. Patrick is countersuing for a separate computer.
Miss Yim, according to your complaint, you and the defendant were friends. Sometime in December of 1999, you purchased a computer. You already had a computer, but you bought a new one, a very expensive one. You say that since you didn't need both computers, you allowed the defendant to borrow it, and he had it in his possession for a considerable period of time. Sometime in the summer of 2000, you decided you wanted your computer back. Is that right so far?
Correct.
Defendant said, I thought it was a gift to me because I had done some work for her when she was on this trip to Cambodia, right? See
Sure.
how I read your papers?
Absolutely.
So what I said to you is, I've already put a lot of my software in the computer. Let me buy you another one. And he bought another one, a laptop, which he gave you.
Correct.
And on what date did he give you the other computer?
I would say approximately July of 2000.
July of 2000. And you kept that computer for a while.
Yes.
For how many months?
I still have that computer.
Which you accepted. Is that right?
Yes.
Then you changed your mind because you say that it wasn't as good as the computer that you had let him borrow.
Correct.
Is that the idea? Is that this case?
More or
I mean,
less.
so now you want the value or the return of your more expensive computer.
Yes.
Wrong. Let us assume, Miss Yim, that you allowed him merely to borrow the computer. That's not what he says. But let us assume that's true. You allowed him to borrow the computer. And when you asked for it back, he said, it's been a long time, 6 months or 8 months or whatever it was. I put my software in it. Let me get you a replacement.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, fine. And a year ago, he got you a replacement. And you accepted it. That means the contract is over. You took the replacement, you kept it, you've had it for almost a year, and the fact that you don't like it anymore doesn't mean that you can go back and get the original one from 1999. Do you understand?
I do.
Good, perfect. Case dismissed.
Oh.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I didn't realize that that's how it was going to go over.
The reality and the underlying story, that girl used to be my girlfriend.
I didn't even get a chance to speak.
As a gift, she gave me that computer.
I lent a computer. Within 2 months, he replaced it with something that was inadequate. I'd been trying to get it for 4 months, and I did not receive it, and so I just want the equivalent back or my money.
Humber is suing one-time client, 27-year-old waitress Chastity Newby, for terminating her daycare services without proper notice. Chastity says Charity neglected her children. She's countersuing for medical bills and lost wages.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom. All rise. Miss. Your Honor, this is case number 84 on the calendar in the matter of Macumba versus Newby. You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats.
Miss McCumber, according to the complaint that I have read, you were employed by the defendant as a babysitter for her 2 children, her little girl who was 5 and a baby who was a year and a half old. You claim that she fired you.
Yes.
She fired you owing you money.
Yes.
And she has some of your property. The defendant says that she owes you nothing and is counterclaiming because she says that because of your negligence, one of her children was hospitalized for 3 days. How did you come to work for her?
A friend of mine had gotten my number from her, and then she contacted me because I was going to start a child daycare center. And she didn't want to bring the children to my home, so I went to her home.
Are you a licensed daycare provider?
I'm getting my license.
So you are not a licensed
No.
daycare provider. Do you have your own children?
I have one son.
How old is your son?
He's 10 months.
So you would be watching 3 children.
Right.
And what was the salary arrangement?
I was supposed to get paid $15 a day for the baby and $12 a day for the 5-year-old.
So a total of $27 a day.
Correct. She was also to give me a 2-week notice if she wasn't gonna, if she was gonna have another babysitter.
Okay, is that correct?
No, that's not correct.
What's not correct?
There was no verbal agreement about a 2-week notice, either on my part or her part.
Okay. Were there any problems that occurred between the time you started to work for her, which was the 15th of February?
Correct.
And mid-April when you were fired?
There was a couple times where she had called me complaining that I was not taking care of her children right, that I wasn't giving them enough attention, I wasn't feeding them correct.
What happened in April?
I had to go and pick up my nephew from preschool, and I had told her on Monday I had to get him on Friday. And I took the children with me, and I had the baby and my son in a car seat, and I had the 5-year-old in the front seat with a seatbelt. When we got there, I went inside and grabbed my nephew.
That's not where you would normally put the 5-year-old, is that right?
No, I put her in the front seat just like her mom does.
There's no airbags in my car.
Go ahead.
When I got to the preschool, my son was sleeping, and the night before I had taken him to the emergency room. And I didn't get home until midnight, and my son did not sleep the rest of the night. So since he was sleeping, I didn't want to disturb him because it was the first time he had gotten to sleep. I knew I just had to go into the door, grab my nephew, and come right back out. So I didn't see any harm in leaving the 5-year-old with the 2 children, since he was sleeping, running in and coming right back. I was gone maybe 1 to 2 minutes. That was it. Actually, the night before, when I went to the emergency room, I had asked her to if she could find somebody else to watch her children because my son was so sick. She told me she would try to get her aunt.
Just a minute. We're going back. You left the 3 children in the car.
Correct.
And I assume you locked the car.
Yes.
Where do you live?
Kingman, Arizona.
What was the temperature in April?
It was probably like 80, 85 at the time.
Did you leave the car on or off?
I left it off with the windows rolled down.
With the windows rolled down?
The windows were up.
Just a second. So anybody could have come in the car in that minute or 2?
There were people outside, and I had asked one of the teachers to watch the car.
How old was your nephew that you were picking up?
4.
Where did you put your nephew in the car?
In the back seat.
Strapped in?
Yes.
Why didn't you put her 5-year-old there?
Because I let her be in the front seat so she could see everything, and I figured since I was watching her...
She can't see a thing. She's 5 years old. She can't see over that. All she's looking at is the dashboard.
My nephew likes to be in the back seat with his cousin. That's why I put him back there. I always put him back there.
Have you picked your nephew up from school before with the children?
Yes.
With or without her permission?
With.
Is that right?
Before, not this time. Yes, this time was without my permission. I told her not to leave.
Okay.
That's not true.
Okay. What time did you get home with the children?
Noon.
Go ahead.
When I got back to the house, my son had gotten a higher temperature. I called Chastity at work to find out about, calling her aunt to be there. She told me that she couldn't call because she was too busy, that when her husband got home that I could have him call the aunt to see if the aunt could come. When he did come home, probably about 10 minutes after I called her, when he got out of the car, he started cussing, saying that he shouldn't have even came home.
So what did you do? He
told me to go ahead and leave. When I returned home, after being at the doctor's all day, my girlfriend was there because she comes over every day when her husband works. When she called my girlfriend, she started cussing and saying I was a bad mother, that I was neglectful, and that I shouldn't have been able to babysit her children.
Did she speak to you?
I called her back. She told me that I neglected the children, that she was going to file a police report on me if I filed a small claims on her. She said that I shouldn't be allowed to watch children because I was unstable. Then she told me that she didn't want me to watch her kids again, and I told her fine.
Had you been paid for that week?
No, she did not pay me for that week.
And how many hours did you work that week?
I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
You didn't work Thursday?
Half day.
Not even a half day. $27 a day?
Correct.
$81 for the 3 days?
Correct.
So what are you suing her for $415.98 for?
For the 2-week notice that we verbally agreed to, and she's got some of my belongings.
Now, what belongings do you claim she has?
She has a black sweater that I had left that day.
Do you have a black sweater of hers?
Not a black sweater. I have a stuffed animal dog of hers. I have a box of baby cereal and a little thing of juice. That's all I have
and
at my
a can of
house.
formula.
Oh, come on. You're talking about nonsense, Miss McCumber.
When it's $20 a can.
WIC pays for it, though, so.
Just a second. You have those things? You have some
Yes,
formula?
I do.
Fine. Put them in a shopping bag, and we'll make arrangements for those things to come back to her. All right. You want to tell me your version of the events
please.
that happened, and I assume you want to tell me something of your counterclaim.
Yes. Charity did watch my children for 2.5 months. Within that time, we had a couple problems. I asked her to feed my kids nutritionally. I didn't want them fed hot dogs or Pop-Tarts every single day, and that was one of the problems.
No.
And
don't interrupt her. She didn't interrupt you.
The reason I knew this is there was a couple occasions where I would always ask, how did the kids eat today? What did they eat? And she would tell me, oh, they had a cheese sandwich and applesauce. Well,
Miss Newby,
the applesauce jar wasn't even open, so she would lie about what she fed them.
Let me tell you this. Finding proper child care for working parents is a very difficult thing, and sometimes you blink and turn the other way if things aren't 100% perfect. But I would assume, Ms. Newby, that if you felt as if she was really neglecting your children, you wouldn't have allowed her to watch your children for 2.5 months.
She had promised and said she would do better, that she wouldn't lie anymore, that she would take better care of the children, she would take my kids outside. And as far as her leaving with my kids in the car, that was another problem. She had gone 2 other times with my permission. She had called me at work, told me it was an emergency. I said, okay. Then I talked to her about it, and I told her I did not want it to happen again.
So you didn't give her permission?
She called me at work. She asked me, which she had already taken them, and I told her no. And when I got home, first my husband told me, she brought the little boy over again today. She took him, and then my daughter told me they had been left in the car with the windows rolled up and the doors locked.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Charity McCumber says former client Chastity Newby owes her for babysitting fees and the return of personal belongings.
Go ahead.
My youngest daughter all week had a bad diaper rash, and every night I would come home and...
All week? You mean the last week?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay.
And I would come home, and by the next morning, I would have it just about gone, and then the next day I would come home, and it was back terribly, bleeding bad. She didn't have permission to take my children. She shouldn't have done it. She asked me. I told her, no, you don't leave children in a car under any circumstances.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Not even for a minute. Not for a minute or two, and it takes more than a minute or two to go in, sign a child out of daycare. Even if it takes 3 or 4 minutes, you don't leave 3 children in a car in 85-degree weather, locked in a car. Not for a minute. But you have a counterclaim. You want to tell me about the counterclaim you have?
My youngest daughter was severely dehydrated. I took her to the doctor Friday, and we tried to bring her back home and get her hydrated at home, which we couldn't do. She was back in the emergency room Saturday being IV'd. She ended up being admitted, and she stayed 3 nights, I believe, for dehydration. And I believe most of it was Charity's care.
It may be, but you understand for a counterclaim such as yours, you need some medical proof of that.
Mm-hmm.
The circumstance of her having been in the plaintiff's care and then being hospitalized doesn't necessarily make a case for a counterclaim. You understand that? Okay. So I'm going to have to dismiss your counterclaim, but I'm going to get to your claim. Ms. McCumber, I find that even if there was an agreement to give you 2 weeks' notice, you breached your contract of care for the defendant's 2 children when you took them without her permission. And even if you had her permission, if you took them on an errand and even for 30 seconds locked them in a car, never, you will never, if they have this information, get a daycare license, because That is such poor judgment to leave a 5-year-old in a car watching 2 infants in a locked car. There is never an emergency that would permit that. And you did it because you didn't want to disturb your baby.
Correct.
Because, well, that's outrageous. That's outrageous. You had an obligation to disturb your baby's sleep, to take all 3 children out of the car, go into the daycare center, pick up your nephew if it was an emergency, come back and hope that your son fell back to sleep. But because you didn't want to inconvenience or disturb your son's sleep, you placed all 3 children at risk. So even if there was an agreement for 2 weeks' notice, I found that you breached your agreement to provide adequate care for the children. However, you have to pay her for the 3 days that she worked for you. Because if you were dissatisfied with her care of the children, and if you felt Monday that your daughter had a diaper rash, and you let her take care of your children on Tuesday, and the diaper rash came back and it was even more aggravated, and then Wednesday you let her do it again, that's poor judgment on your part.
Right.
Right? Sometimes necessity forces you to do that. But that's poor judgment on your part. That doesn't negate the fact that she performed a service for you for 3 days. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and you owe her $81. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I've tried to quit before, and she begged
wouldn't
me.
let her.
No.
She begged her to come back.
Yep.
She didn't take care of them. She didn't feed them. She left them in a car on an 85-degree day. That's neglect.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ball versus Ball. Step forward, please.
36-year-old tanning salon owner Wanda Ball is suing her ex-husband, 40-year-old carpenter Gary Ball, for the cost of storing his belongings while he was in prison.
According to your complaint, your former husband was incarcerated for a period of time. While he was incarcerated, you paid for a storage unit for some of his property, and when he was released from jail, he refuses to pay you for the stuff that you were storing.
Correct.
What were the storage fees?
The total was $790.
And tell me how it came about that you started to pay for the storage unit.
When he was incarcerated, he had asked my son to take care of his storage, which had a bunch of his tools in it. What had happened is my son was with him when the police pulled Gary over, and they arrested Gary and took him to jail. My son is the one who had the key to the storage unit that Gary had gave to him.
Could you come up here for a moment? Tell me your name.
Keith Ball.
Keith, how old are you?
14.
Do you remember having a conversation with your dad about the things that he had in storage?
Yes, ma'am.
What did he tell you?
Just keep the storage for him, and that's all we have.
Did he give you the key?
Yeah.
When did he give you the key, Keith?
Before he went to the car.
Before he went to the police car?
Yeah.
Have a seat, Keith. Very good. All right. What was the next thing that you did?
The next thing that I did is I contacted his family. His family said that they were not going to pay for it. They were just going to let him lose $10,000 worth of his equipment that was in the storage unit.
Go ahead.
When he went to jail, he had made a collect call, and he contacted me and told me what was going on. I knew he was going to be sent away to prison for a year. Gary asked me to pay for the storage unit.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm ready for you.
Okay. Well, I'm a self-employed carpenter. Well, right now I'm working in a trailer factory. Me and Wanda's been divorced for 12 years, but we actually have lived together 4 or 5 or 6 years in between then. I've been to prison before in '96 for a year, and she took care of my stuff for criminal mischief. She took care of my stuff, and she gave my stuff back to me when I got out. And after that, we even got back together for a year or 2.
All right, let's talk about this date, sir. You picked up in February of 2000. Your son's in the car with you. Were you picked up for a parole violation?
Probation.
Probation violation.
Right.
And what was the original charge?
A battery.
That's more than criminal mischief.
Well, that's '96 was the criminal mischief.
Did you hand your son the key to the storage unit?
Yes, I did.
What did you say to your son?
To take care of this is our inheritance, this is our investment, that I'm going to be going to prison.
Well, you knew your son didn't have any money, right?
Right.
So you expected the plaintiff to pay for the storage unit.
Actually, we had talked on the phone, and we talked about selling this stuff.
Yes.
And
is that what you wanted her to do?
She could give me much as money she wanted to, and she could keep the... That's what I asked her to do at first. To sell it.
Just a second. So at first you asked her to sell all your tools.
Right.
Well, that wouldn't give you a way of earning a living.
Right, but it would actually maybe give me a lawyer and make my sentence a little less.
Did you change your mind about selling your stuff?
Actually, I was glad she did, because actually I make more money with this equipment than I do working inside the factory.
So you've been out of prison now for 6 months,
Right.
and you make more money now.
Actually, I'm still in the trailer factory because my parole officer wants me to stay inside the factory, and she wants me to stay inside the factory because of the insurance, and she makes sure she gets a check every week for support.
You mean you work and you pay for child support?
Right.
Sounds right. Where are your tools now?
My tools are...
Now look at me. Where are your tools now?
My tools are in my sister's garage.
Why weren't they in your sister's garage before?
I asked them plenty of times to get with my brother and my sisters to get my tools out of there before they double locked it. Matter of fact, when I got out, it was double locked. She gave me the money to get the double lock off so that I could get my tools out of it.
How much did she give you?
$190, and I did give that $190 back to her.
Your Honor, he is lying. He never gave me $190.
All right, Mr. Ball, one must only assume that you paid for the storage unit because your sister's garage was not available at the time. Otherwise, somebody who's earning a moderate amount of money doesn't pay for a storage unit. So you intended to keep your stuff in the storage unit and use it as necessary. Is that a fair statement?
Right.
And the fact that you went to jail and she was very nice and paid for the storage unit for you while you were in jail because at 8 cents an hour you weren't going to be able to pay for it yourself, why should she be stuck behind the 8 ball for $790?
Well, actually, she really took care of something that's going to help her out with, I do maintenance on her salons, I do maintenance on her rental properties.
Charge her.
Well,
He does
that's
not.
what
Shh, just a minute, charge her.
That's what will happen.
Charge her. If she thinks your prices are too steep, she'll get somebody else to do it.
Right.
Bought a bicycle for your son.
Yes.
And that bicycle was stolen off of your front porch.
Yes.
Several months later, the defendant's son was seen riding a bike that looked as if it was the same bike as had been stolen.
Right.
And it was later ascertained that it was, in fact, your bike.
Yes.
You want the defendant to pay for the cost of the repairs there were the bike. The defendant says that her boyfriend purchased the bike for her son from a neighbor. She had absolutely no idea it was stolen. And she is counterclaiming, claiming that you have slandered her in the neighborhood by calling her a thief, family, thieves. Child has heard those kinds of comments that she says started with you.
Yes.
On what date was the bicycle stolen?
It was about 2 weeks after Christmas.
So sometime in January.
Yes.
And when, for the first time, was the defendant's son seen riding the bike?
The 24th of March of this year.
Are you neighbors?
Yes. We live a block away.
All right. Who first saw her son on the bike?
A neighbor of ours had first seen her son on the bike, and I was not at home at the time when the bike was brought to my fiance's attention, but he could explain that better than I could.
Go ahead. Tell me your last name.
Ruth, R-U-T-H, Stephen Ruth.
Go ahead.
Yes, it was on March 24th. It was
That I know. Tell me how you saw the bike.
It was in the morning, and a friend of mine, Dennis, brought the bike up to my front door, and he said, "Doesn't this look like Timmy's bike?" And I looked at it, and I said, "Well, yeah, that could be," but it had been changed so much that I couldn't tell at that time. So I took the serial number down, and then later on, when Sherry came home, we matched the numbers up, and they matched up with the receipt that she had. And so we went back over there, and she wouldn't answer the door. And then finally she answered the door and said that could we settle it the next day? And I said no, that I'm going to go call the police. So we called the police and went over there with the police. And the police checked the number, and they said, yeah, that's the bike.
Okay. And it was returned to you?
Yes.
Yes, that day.
Okay. Miss Witt, how did the bike come to be in your son's possession?
We gave it to him for his birthday, which
And where
was
did you
March
get it
23rd.
from? You didn't buy it. Your boyfriend bought the bike.
Right.
Is your boyfriend here today?
Yes, he is, Bob Smith.
Step up, please. Mr. Smith, where did you get this bicycle from?
I bought the bike from Kirk.
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 Me.
From this gentleman here.
Yes.
When did you purchase it?
What day was it? February 22nd.
Tell me how it came about that you purchased the bike.
Cortland had mentioned that he would wanted a certain type of bike, on his birthday. So I had to ask Kirk if he had knew anybody that had a bike or where I could find a bike like that. And he said his friend was selling a bike. So we
Just
took
a second. Why did you ask Kirk?
He has a friend that used to own a bike shop on Bear Valley Road that had been gone out of business. And his friend said that he had a red line bike, which was the type that he wanted. So I took a look at it and I bought the bike.
Where did you go to look at it?
At Kirk's house.
You went to his house?
Uh-huh. He lives in the same neighborhood. His friend had brought the bike over.
Step up. Where did you get this bicycle from?
From Brian, a guy named Brian.
What's Brian's last name?
I don't know his last name.
Well, how do you reach him?
He came to my house with the bike, you know.
Well, he didn't just show up at your house with the bike.
Yeah, he did.
Somebody must have told him that you were looking for that kind of bike. Why would he just show up at your house with a bicycle?
I guess he needed money or something. He was trying to sell it to whoever was around.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
how much did you pay for the bike?
$200.
Who did you give the money to?
I gave the money to Kirk.
Is that right?
Yeah, and what it was is Brian came with the bike, you know, and I gave him the money. I was like the middleman for him, like, you know.
Did you get any money for yourself for selling the bike?
No.
He didn't give you anything, not even $10?
No.
Why?
I didn't ask for it. I didn't really have to do anything.
And I didn't know that. I thought we paid him. That's who I have the bill of sale from.
Let me see it, please.
And what I had told Sherry's fiance when he came to my house was that I didn't have the bill of sale with me. And same thing I told the police officer was because my fiance had purchased the bike. And it was he was laying tile that day and it was in his possession.
Your Honor, but she also stated that she had a yellow copy and that she bought it from the bicycle shop, which happened to be the same bicycle shop I originally bought it from. And I have the police report that states that.
But I thought that that's where he had gotten it.
You have any reason to believe that this lady stole a bicycle that belonged to your child? Just pay attention. On your front porch. She lives in a house where she can see your house across the street, and then she permits her child to ride that bike in the neighborhood right in front of your nose. Wouldn't that be stupid?
On his birthday.
Just a sec. Shh. Don't speak. Wouldn't that be stupid?
Yes, it would.
Okay.
But
so,
I never accused her of stealing the bicycle.
I don't understand, Miss Wilder, what you think.
I think her boyfriend
She knows somebody.
knows who took it or possibly knew it was stolen. I don't think
Well,
her
if you
son
think,
knew.
just a second, if you think that her boyfriend possibly knew it was stolen, he could also possibly not have known it was stolen. Aren't both things possible?
It's possible.
Then what are you doing here? I believe that they paid $200 for this bicycle.
But the condition the bicycle was in, I mean...
You saw the bicycle, Miss Wilder, 2 months later.
The crank had been painted. The sticker on the crank had been painted.
Listen to me. You saw the bicycle 2 months later, and I don't know whether they did it or somebody who had it between the time it was stolen and the time you saw it. 2.5 months later, had painted it. I don't know. Did you paint the bike?
No, it's exactly how we bought it.
So somebody else had it in the 2.5 months. When was your son's birthday?
March 23rd.
Okay, and you saw it the next day. Somebody else had the bike. Somebody else painted it. Now you can sit down.
Okay, thank you.
Now, I'm not satisfied that any of them had any knowledge whatsoever that this was a stolen bicycle. I don't think that this lady would have given her son a stolen bicycle, especially to ride around the street. It's ridiculous.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sherry Wilder says neighbor Robin Witt owes for the cost to restore her son's bicycle. Robin says Sherry has been spreading rumors about her family.
Now, after this happened, did you start to say bad things about her?
No, I did not. Her children go to school with my children. I walk my son down to the bus stop. I do not talk to her kids.
Why not?
Because they don't talk to me. I have no
Did they
reason
ever
to
talk to you before?
No.
Okay. What information do you have that Miss Wilder has defamed you and called you a thief?
When she brought the police officers back to my house, and yes, I did answer the door.
No, Joe, don't talk to her. Talk to me. I'm asking you the question.
Okay, I'm sorry. She told the police officers, well, if you open their garage, you'll probably find the 2 scooters that were stolen out of my front yard, too.
That's not defamation. Go ahead. What's next?
Then my children got to where they didn't want to ride the bus. They wanted to ride back and forth, and I was wondering why, what was going on. They had children telling them at the bus stop that they were stealers and that...
That's all hearsay.
Well, I brought Samantha because she goes to the bus stop. She's my 5th grader. She's 10 years old. And she said Miss Wilder doesn't speak to them, but that her words were that she's not deaf. She heard her say these things to other neighbors. One of them living next door to my mother.
Just a second. Come up here, Samantha.
Where?
Come up here, Samantha. Oh.
Your Honor, the one other thing is the day that the police showed up to take...
I'm not interested in the bicycle anymore. I've resolved the issue of the
No,
bicycle.
it has to do with what she's saying about the kids in the neighborhood
Just a
and
second.
that.
I'm not finished. How old are you?
10.
I want you to think very, very carefully. And you know, you have to make sure that when I ask you a question, you tell me the truth.
Yeah, I know.
Only the truth. Got it? Do you know Miss Wilder?
Not very well.
Did you ever see her at the bus stop where you go to school?
Yeah.
Do you ever speak to her at the bus stop?
No.
Do you ever hear her say anything about you or your mother or your brother at the bus stop?
I have heard her.
What did you hear her say?
That we were thieves and that
Who's we?
me and my brother and my family.
Who did she say that to?
My grandma's next door neighbor.
What was your grandmother's next door neighbor doing outside? Does she have a child that goes on the bus?
Yes.
Did you say anything to your grandmother about it?
No.
Did you tell your mother about it?
Yes.
What did you tell her?
That I had heard her talking about me and my brother and my family.
How'd that make you feel?
Bad.
Has anybody said anything to you at school?
Yes.
What do they say to you at school?
That we were thieves and that my brother was a thief and people had been pushing Cortland around, and it was really bad because they were calling us things and Cortland didn't even want to go to school anymore.
You know that all that is not true.
Yes, I know that.
And that I don't believe at all that you or your brother or your mom stole anything. Okay. You understand that?
Yes.
And if some children say some bad things because adults aren't doing the right thing, that's a bad thing for them to say.
Yes.
But sometimes you even have to forgive adults because sometimes adults act like stupid children. That sometimes happens. Okay?
Okay.
Good. How do you do in school?
Good.
Yes?
I get straight A's.
Got a girl. Somehow I figured that. Okay. Go and sit down. Your conduct, Miss Wilder, is out of order.
Your Honor, I never said anything.
I believe you did. Not only do I believe you did, but I believe her. And I believe that because of the statements that you made, either you or your children or your fiancé or anybody else, that you placed Miss Witt's daughter and son in a circumstance at school that made them uncomfortable. I believe that you had no cause to believe that Miss Witt or either of her children had anything to do with the theft of your bike. And I do, in fact, believe that you made a statement overheard by this child that called this child, her brother, and her family thieves.
I didn't.
That's a very hurtful thing. So your case is dismissed. On your counterclaim, I am awarding you $1,000. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I only wanted to protect my children.
I've never said anything about her kids. I've never said anything about her.
It was an embarrassing situation for all of us.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of McCrae versus Lathers Higginbottom. Step forward, please.
43-year-old realtor Kathy McCrae and her daughter, 11-year-old Heather, are suing 44-year-old Brenda Higginbotham and 52-year-old Johnny Lathers. Kathy says Brenda and Johnny's son, 14-year-old Lawrence Lathers, shot her daughter with a BB gun.
All right, no, you stand up here. Step up. Only the children were there that day. The parents were not. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that correct? So, you were shot in the hand with a BB gun. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what happened.
Me and my cousin Casey were walking down the street. His dog started barking at us.
Whose dog?
Lawrence's dog. So he told it to be quiet. Franklin and Mikey, those are some neighborhood friends of Casey's, they said that they could get the dog to be quiet, so they went inside and got Lawrence.
These two other boys? Went inside where?
Went inside his house. And
Went inside Lawrence's house?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And so he came out with a BB gun.
Who came out with the BB gun?
Lawrence did. So
I was going to tell Casey, but she told me, she said, I know.
She knew what?
That he had a gun. So then we were going back. Casey said, just ignore him. So I did, and then we walked across. We were going to the stop sign, and he shot, and it had hit me in the finger.
How many people had BB guns?
Just him.
Okay, is the BB still in your finger?
No, ma'am.
It was taken out.
Yes, ma'am.
It hurt you?
Yes, ma'am.
You have any scar there?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see it, please? Come on up here. Show me where.
Right there on the middle finger.
How many times did they try to take the BB out of your finger?
2 times.
Did it hurt?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was inside, and I seen them walking down the street because I was on the phone. The dog was barking, so the doorbell rung, and Mikey told me he came knocking on the door, and I told the dog to be quiet, and I told him he couldn't come around there because they don't allow him in my house. So he left, and then I went back inside, and I was on the telephone, and then they kept passing down the street, and I was just looking out the window. Then I told the dog to shut up again, and when they passed by, they was going down the street, then the doorbell rung again, and it was Mikey. And I asked him what he wanted, and he had this pellet gun, and he told me to come outside. And then he was shooting at the sign across the street.
What were you doing?
I was on the telephone at first.
Not at first. When you went outside, you brought your BB gun outside.
Yeah, I went and got my gun because he had
Right,
it.
you went and got your gun and you went outside.
But they was going down the street, but Mikey was still at my house. They had left after the second time, and they walked down the street, and then he came and rung my doorbell.
I heard that. But you left out the part that you went outside with your BB gun.
I went outside with my BB gun,
Yeah.
and we were shooting at the sign across the street.
Right.
And then after that, I told him I was about to go inside because it was getting dark. And I went inside and I got back on the telephone. And about an hour later, the police came.
Right. Good. Stand where you are.
The police came.
I'm not interested in what happened with the police. So you and your friend were shooting, and it is your defense that how can you tell which BB shot her?
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Doesn't matter.
Well,
it doesn't matter. If 2 morons are shooting a BB gun out in the street and there are no markings on BBs so that you can't tell which gun it came from, they're both responsible.
Well,
Period. End of discussion. Don't try to make yourself appear foolish, sir. There's no discussion. That's why there's no issue here. You had absolutely no right to go outside and shoot that BB gun unless there was a totally clear space. Nobody there. Nobody could get hurt. And if you didn't train him to do that, or if you trained him and he didn't listen, you are responsible for his actions. Who bought him the BB gun?
Ma'am, the distance
Who
that they
bought
were,
him the BB gun?
We did.
We did. There you go.
The distance that the young ladies got shot at, BB guns doesn't reach that far.
What do you think? She shot herself in the hand?
Oh, well, she left there with little Frankie. Now, he had a BB gun. Now, what happened to his? Why he didn't do it somewhere? We heard this lady. She didn't holler when she got shot. Nothing happened. She didn't show nobody she was shot. She ain't told nobody. How can a kid get shot with a BB gun and says nothing to nobody?
Where did you want her to come back to your house?
Well, she could go to the neighbor's house. Anybody, a kid
She
should
went
go.
to her house.
Okay.
She went to her house.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Go ahead.
Mikey left Lawrence and went down the street where these girls were with his BB gun in his hand after he and Lawrence finished shooting.
Maybe.
So who is to say Mikey didn't?
Who's to say? I don't know who's
when
to
he was
say.
down there.
All I know is that 2 idiots were shooting BB guns into the street. And it had to be into the
They were
street where
shooting
there were people and cars because there's a stop sign there which indicates that the police feel that that street corner is sufficiently dangerous to put up a sign, which means that cars cross and people cross.
It
They were shooting. It wasn't a stop sign.
He just told me he was shooting at a stop sign.
At the speed limit sign.
Yeah, but that's not.
further down
But that's further
Judgment
down
for the
the street.
plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. Idiots. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Better solution was if they thought that the BB gun, 2 idiots were shooting a BB gun, that both idiots should pay.
I kind of think it was an accident, but you shouldn't be having a gun out there, period, at his age.
We both should have been charged if they think we both did it.
Well, he shouldn't really have a BB gun in the first place.
Lawrence shouldn't follow other people. He knew the rules, not to take a BB gun outside.
I really believe that people...
Ms. Nickerson, the defendant is a former boyfriend of yours. And it is your claim that he purposely totaled your car by smashing into it. This was after he had ceased to be your boyfriend.
Right.
Mr. Monk does not deny that he did, in fact, smash into your car, but he has two defenses. One, it was that it was really just an accident, and second, that you should have had more insurance, right?
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure I got it right.
Mm-hmm.
When did he cease being your boyfriend?
That night.
It was a good answer. When did this happen?
August 7th.
Where were you?
I was at a friend's house.
Male friend?
Yes.
About what time?
About 7, 8-ish.
He came over?
He followed me.
What happened?
He knocked on the door, and my friend said, I think your boyfriend is outside. I said, oh no, quit playing. And then he got more furious. Aisha, if you don't come out here. And so I finally...
You mean the defendant got more furious?
Yeah. He started yelling my name, and I was paranoid. And then I finally opened the door, and I came out there, and he was ranting and raving.
What was he saying to you?
Oh, it was belligerent.
What was he saying?
Oh, you know, how could you do this to me? Why are you here? Yada, yada.
And what did you say to him?
You know, I just said I was over a friend's house. By this time, I'm mad because he's embarrassing me at my friend's house. So I was getting upset with him, and I told him none of his business. And then he got more upset. Then this is in the back of the house, and then we're walking. He threw someone's garbage can on the ground, and I'm paranoid. Then I got on my cell phone. I called the police because he was getting violent. He was getting in my face.
He was getting in your face, and he threw somebody's garbage can?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Then we proceeded to the front where my car was parked, and his car was parked on across the street. Okay, and then we were arguing, and then he got in his car. It looks like he was going to take off and leave, but I guess the devil got in him. And so he did a donut, and he sped and totaled my car. 360 turn and totaled my car.
What kind of car did you have?
A 2001 Corolla Toyota, 3 months old. My first new car.
Okay. You have a different version of what happened?
Yes.
I'll hear you.
First of all, we were still together on that day when.
Okay, you were still
when
together.
the thing happened, yes. And I did not follow her. I was not following her. I was on my way somewhere else, and I just happened to pass by that area, and I seen her car outside the home.
How big an area do you live in?
What do you mean?
You live in a city or?
Yeah, it's a town. It's a town.
How many people live in that town?
I don't know, a couple thousand, about 50,000.
So you're just around 50,000. So you just happen to be going down that street.
Yeah, I was going down that street.
Okay, go ahead.
Where I was going, I was passing that area.
I got you.
But anyway.
Believe me, I got you. Go ahead.
Anyway, so I see her car there. So I was on my way to do something, so I continued to do what I was doing. I called her cell phone.
When you said you saw her car there, was it parked in the street or in a driveway?
Yeah, it was parked on the street. The street I'm going down, if I look that way, I can see her car parked right there. And I know her car, and I know that she knows people that stay in that house. That's why I knew it was her.
Ah, there you go. Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, I proceeded to call her on the phone, and she didn't answer her phone, so that made me suspect something even further. So after I finished doing what I was doing, I came back over there, and I knocked on the door. Nobody answered, so that, like she said, that made me more mad, and I was getting restless and upset. So I was calling her name out, and finally she came out. We got in a heated discussion. Things were getting too hot, you know, I was getting too upset, so I jumped in my car and I proceeded to leave. My car was parked opposite of hers on the other side of the street. I went to make a U-turn. By this time, I'm so upset that I'm driving reckless. So I lost control when I was coming back after making a U-turn, and my car went into hers.
Right. Okay, now, let's talk about the damage. The car's been totaled?
It's totaled. It was not up.
What kind of insurance did you have on this brand new car?
The worst insurance in the world. Due to my age, I had to go with the cheap insurance. So I went to this place, but it was full coverage because you can't drive it off the lot without full coverage. So they're telling me they can only pay the blue book. So apparently the dealer must have gotten over on me on the overall price of the car, which regardless of the case, I paid for it. That was my decision.
Let me see the paperwork. How old are you?
24.
So, according to this letter from the insurance company, they're prepared to give you $14,541.
Right.
And did you have a loan on this car?
Yes.
And what was the total loan amount on the car?
$19,100 something.
Who went with you to buy this car?
He did.
Did you shop around at all?
Yeah, I was shocked I got approved. I was happy. It had a nice steering wheel.
A nice what?
Steering wheel. Leather.
What kind of work do you do?
I work at customer service.
For whom?
Kaiser.
For how long?
3 years.
How much do you earn?
Not a lot.
How much do you earn?
Yearly, about $30,000.
How many payments did you make on this car?
Like 4 payments.
And how much were your payments?
$365.
A month?
Yes. Plus $120 of that insurance.
120 of the 365 was for insurance?
Mm-hmm, the insurance. That lousy insurance. Can I say their name? The insurance name?
Sure.
I can?
Sure.
They suck.
Good.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Aisha Nickerson claims ex-boyfriend Carl Monk crashed into her car during a jealous rage. Carl says it was definitely an accident.
What percentage of interest do you have on this loan, do you know?
10%, 10.9.
You're not a very good shopper.
I was just with her. I wasn't helping her along.
Well, you have to deduct the payments that you've already made to the company, because you don't have a payout figure, do you?
No.
Okay. That would leave a balance that you owe the company of about $3,765. Now, Mr. Monk, you hit a car.
Yes.
You gotta
It was an
pay.
accident.
Well, it wasn't her accident. It was your accident.
But it was an accident.
No, it wasn't her accident. It was your accident. She wasn't in her car. Her car was standing. Her car didn't move over to your car. Right?
Right.
You hit her car.
True.
All riled up, angry, whatever else it was. Her car's not responsible for your anger. You are. So you got to pay her. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,765. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I don't agree with it.
I think justice was served.
Yeah, don't act on emotion.
Stay single.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Staley versus Thompson, step forward, please.
37-year-old trucker John Staley says during a visit with his sister, 38-year-old customer service rep Terry Thompson, she attacked him with a hammer. John says Terry lied to police and had him arrested for domestic violence.
Mr. Staley, the defendant is your sister.
Yes, ma'am.
And according to your complaint, she filed a false police report causing you to be arrested, spending a day in jail. Those charges were subsequently dismissed, but you want her to pay for your lost wages.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right? When did this incident occur that caused you to be arrested?
August 9th,
And where did it take place?
at the defendant's home of residence.
What were you doing there?
On August 9th, I came home to my home, and I found my niece, my oldest niece, on the phone.
Your
I asked
oldest
her-
niece is your daughter?
Yes.
Go ahead.
She was calling people on the phone, and she advised me that her car had broken down. She didn't have any money on her, and she needed help getting the car towed to get the car fixed. And she asked for my assistance. At the point, I didn't really have any money, but as we were discussing this, the tow truck showed up at my residence. So I told Lori to go with the tow truck driver to go get the car, have the vehicle towed, and I would go to the bank, withdraw money to pay for the towing. And Lori needed to go back to her mother's house, so I took Lori back to her mother's house, and that's what I was doing there.
And what happened when you got there?
I walked with Lori upstairs to the apartment. I stayed in the hallway.
Your Honor,
of the-
don't put your hand up yet. You'll have an opportunity to tell me your side of the story.
I stayed in the hallway while Lori went in and got her things, and there was a discussion that Terry made about that I owed her an apology over an incident that took place 2 years ago. She made.
Have you spoken to your sister since?
I haven't spoken to my sister since February or March of this year.
But you were outside in the hallway.
I was in the hallway of the apartment.
She came out to the hallway
Yes, she did.
to tell you
She
that
wanted an apology, and she made some statements, and I told her she needed to get her facts straight on that issue, but I wasn't going to apologize for this incident. It's 2 years old, and there was no need, and I felt I was in the right of that incident.
Okay.
And she told me to leave, and I tried telling her that I needed to take Lori back to get her car, and she said, "No, you're not." She demanded that I leave, and if I didn't leave, she was going to go in, get a hammer, and she was going to beat me with the hammer. And I said, fine. So I turned around, I started walking down the steps. I was on the second step when my sister tried shoving me down the stairs. As she was pushing for me from behind, I turned around with my arm, I raised my arm in defense, and at the same time I tried to maintain my balance on the stairwell.
Had she gotten the hammer?
Not at that point. She got hysterical and everything. She started screaming out loud, and she ran back into her apartment, and I started walking down the stairs, and I was at the first turnaround. There's 3 flights of stairs, and there's a turnaround at one point, and that's when she emerged with the hammer from the apartment.
Did she come down the stairs to
Yes,
where
she
you
did.
were?
I started running down the stairs. I was at the bottom of the stairs when we came together, and she went to swing the hammer, and I put my hands up in a high blocking fashion, and the hammer caught my right forearm, and then I returned a kick to Terry, kicking her away from me, and this bought me a couple seconds to get out the door. Terry then chased me out the door, and I turned and I tossed my keys at Terry. I missed Terry, and my keys went into the bushes on the east side of the doorwell. And then she continued to swing the hammer, and she started yelling to her neighbors, "Call 911! I'm being assaulted!" as she was swinging the hammer.
Did you report this to the police?
Yes, I did.
When?
What happened was Lori came out, and I ended up taking Lori back to her car.
When did you report this to the police?
After I dropped my niece off at her car, I went straight to the sheriff's department.
And what happened when you got there?
They interviewed me, and I told them about the apology and
Told them the story.
Told them the story. They said they had to talk to Terry about the hammer because she didn't originally tell them about the hammer. And they come back and they said she admitted to using the hammer and that I admitted to kicking her. And as far as they were concerned, this was mutual combat, and their policy is to take one of us to jail. They elected me because I was already there.
And subsequently the charges were dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see your paperwork, please. Now, Ms. Thompson, you tell me your version of these events, please.
He's been told several times, this would meaning the 5th time of this year, that he doesn't need to be over harassing me or coming over to my apartment. There's no reason for him to be over there since we do not get along. There's been a few domestic disputes in the past.
Whatever. Your daughter came home to gather some stuff. Your brother is standing outside in the hallway of your apartment. What happened from there?
Okay. Well, I buzzed my daughter to get in. I only seen my daughter get in.
Fine. Your brother is standing in the landing.
He pushed his way in my apartment.
Where was he in the apartment?
He was standing in the living room.
Is the living room as soon as you enter into the door?
Yep.
Fine. Okay. So he's standing in the living room. What happened next?
He was trying to say hi, and he was being very much agitating and aggressive. And I said, why are you here? You know, you don't get along. We don't get along.
What did he tell you?
He was very much trying to say hi,
No,
very
Miss Thompson.
jumping up and down.
Miss Thompson, pay careful attention to me.
Okay.
He was there because he had brought your daughter there, right?
He could have waited in the car.
Just a second. Answer my question.
Yes.
He was there because he brought your daughter there.
Yes.
And he was waiting for her.
No.
He took her back to get her car.
That's correct.
Right. She got her things, and eventually, after this altercation, she left with him. Is that right?
That's correct.
Now, I want you to tell me about this hammer that you admit that you hit him with.
First, he punched me first before I got a chance.
Where did that take place?
It happened in the hallway.
What level of the staircase did it happen where he punched you?
On the 2nd level.
Was he in front of you or behind you?
He was in front of me.
What were you doing following him out of the building?
He was still agitating me the whole way.
What were you doing following him as he was leaving the building?
Your Honor, he's constantly over in my apartment.
I don't care about constantly over. I'm asking you, he's leaving. You told him to leave. He's on his way down the stairs.
Right, agitatingly.
Not agitating, leaving the building. Whether he's leaving the building and he's saying words to you or he's not saying words to you, he's leaving. If he was agitating you, you close your door to your apartment, you say, my goodness, I'm glad he's out of here. You close the door, case closed. What were you following him for?
To make sure I didn't want him to come back.
Oh. When did you get the hammer?
I got it out from my closet in my apartment.
What did you call the police for?
I've constantly called the police.
No, I don't care constantly. What did you call the police for today, that day?
Because he was over again at my apartment harassing me.
Miss Thompson, was your daughter moving out of your apartment? Is that why she came over?
No, she just wanted one thing, a paycheck. She was in there for a second and out.
So she just came home to get a paycheck, right?
Right.
When did she tell you that she was just there to get a paycheck?
She didn't even bother telling me.
She walked in the door and you said something.
He followed her up.
When your daughter walked in the house,
okay,
did she tell you what she was doing there?
No, first she said, John is behind me.
Fine.
And then he pushed his way in. And then she went to get her check to get him out of there.
That's not why she went to get her check. That is not why she went to get her check. She came to the house because she had to get a check. She asked him for a ride. He was not there uninvited by someone who lives in your house. Does your daughter live with you? Does your daughter live with you?
No, she doesn't.
Did she live with you then?
No.
Okay, but a check was in your home?
She came over to visit me, and the check was in her pants pocket, and she came back to pick up her check.
So she leaves clothes in your house?
There's times she visits.
So she leaves clothes in your house?
Yes.
So she invited him to drive her home. She walked in and said to you, John's behind me. Not John's behind me, he's stalking me. He followed me here in order to hurt you.
Yes, he did, Your Honor.
No, he didn't, Miss Thompson. Now, Miss Thompson, you told him to leave and he was leaving. And your daughter was still upstairs. You're the one who gets agitated because you were following him down the stairs. You went upstairs and you got a hammer.
And he couldn't stay in his car?
He could have stayed in his car. Sure, he could have. That doesn't give you license to go and get a hammer and assault him with a hammer. That doesn't give you license to do that. He's not a stranger. It's not somebody that you don't know. You may not get along with your brother, Miss Thompson, but that doesn't give you license to pick up a deadly weapon and to use it at all. And you're absolutely responsible for his lost day's wages, which in this case, all he's suing for is $134.84. You got it. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Apparently, if you tell the law that you don't want somebody to harass you, they keep doing it.
Terry is used to crying wolf.
And the law will say that's okay.
If there's a wolf, I pray they find a wolf.
They can come over anytime they want and walk in your apartment and do whatever they want.
If they don't find a wolf, I pray they impose the consequences, and today they did.
My daughter told him to stay in the car 3 times, and he went ahead and did it anyway.
She's got this angry attitude.
I guess he's too happy.
She's always been contemptuous towards the family.
This won't be resolved. He's definitely going to still try to come over again, and he's going to try and attempt to...
You back?
Yes.
At the time that the car was purchased, he did not have a driver's license, and the car was not supposed to be driven. It is your claim he did not pay you for the car. To make a long story a little bit shorter, anyway, there came a time when your son was incarcerated. He says that when he was released from jail, that he delivered by messenger a money order. You have not cashed the money order. In the meantime, he says that you made arrangements for the police to be involved. The police impounded the car. There were impound fees of almost $900. So you're suing him for the cost of the car. He's suing you for the cost of the car, plus the impound fees. Is that pretty much the story?
Pretty much.
Now, when was the car purchased?
It was March 3rd was the day that he called me, and it was indeed a good deal.
How much was the car?
When he called me on the phone, it was $100. When I got there, it had gone up to $150 after I had come back from the bank.
$150?
Right.
Is that what you paid for the car?
No, I paid $120.
Well, could somebody explain to me why then you people have filed a lawsuit? You want $1,500 for this car?
Well, that's the value of the car.
Get that out of your head. You paid $120. That's what he was supposed to pay you back. Is that right?
Right.
Did you pay your mother back?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Show me. Your husband received payment for the car, money order. Why didn't you cash it?
My boyfriend received that.
Boyfriend?
Yeah, and I wasn't home at the time.
Do you live there?
Yes.
Why didn't you cash the money order?
Because he didn't make me aware of it. The first I knew that there was a money order there was the day the police showed up to my house when he was claiming auto theft.
You mean you don't speak to your boyfriend?
Well, I work, he goes to school. There are days when we don't have words, yeah.
Well, but now you know about it, so where's the money order?
I have it.
Well, why don't you cash it then? You would have been paid. Now you know that he paid you on time.
Because there's a lot more to the story than that.
Just a minute. One thing at a time. He paid, as a matter of fact, the money order was for $151. So cash the money order and then you've been paid. That was your agreement with him, correct?
Right.
Fine.
He was supposed to pay for that car by April 2nd. It was to stay at my house parked. He had stolen license plates from Mike's Pinto and had put them on this car so he could drive it.
Well, that was terrible.
It was.
You shouldn't have done that.
Your Honor.
You shouldn't have driven the car. You had no license.
That's right.
Right?
Correct.
So, and that breached your agreement with your mother, right?
No, actually, my mother gave me permission to borrow the car.
Listen to me.
I'm sorry.
You have no license. Your mother cannot grant dispensation from state law, which says you require a license to drive. So there may be a lot more to it, but bottom line is, you lent him money for the car. That's what you were suing him for, not $1,500, because that's not what the car cost. And he's paid you.
So
you got your money back. Cash the money order.
Your Honor.
Now let's get to your counterclaim.
I think it's pertinent to address the issue of this whole reason she kept the car came and took the car from me and kept it. I got out of jail May 30th. The money wasn't originally due until April 2nd. She took the car, knew I didn't get paid until April 1st, took the car because I came forward and confessed that I knew that she asked me to help her plant drugs on my stepfather for a paternity case that she was losing, or felt she was losing.
Excuse me?
There is a custody issue with her and my stepfather.
Yes.
Over my brother.
How old is your brother?
He is 4 years old now.
Go ahead.
She asked me to help her get a stolen gun originally for her boyfriend, supposedly, that couldn't own a gun. And I said, why would he want a stolen gun? If he gets caught with it, it's even worse. So I said, what are you trying to do? She said, her husband, ex-husband, is winning the case. She feels he's wrongly winning. Help me get something that's a felony so I can get him to lose. And I helped her, and I'm ashamed of that.
How did you help her?
I called a friend that could help her get some drugs. And
what kind of drugs?
Methamphetamines.
And what'd you do with them?
They were delivered to her house. She paid for them.
Delivered to her house?
Yes. I called her the next day and said, I feel wrong about this. I can't send him to jail. I've gone to jail for stuff that I didn't do because of you. I don't want him to go to jail for this. And I came forward and told him. And she held the car against me, telling my brother, tell Brandon if he changes a statement in court that this is all a lie, that I didn't really do this, then I'll give your car back. And I haven't done so. And I located my car, went there to have it towed out of her witness's yard because I paid her for the money and extra money. I paid her the $25 she filed on me. She wanted me to repay her that. She told me, change your statement, pay me $150, which is $25 more than you actually owe me because I filed on you. It cost me $25, so pay me that.
Filed on you for what?
For the car.
You mean when she filed in small claims court?
Yeah, she wanted me to pay her that $25 back.
The fee?
Yeah, and I called the tow truck, went to go repossess my car out of the yard after it was paid for. The tow truck guy said that she won't let me on her property. I left, came back like 20 minutes later. The tow truck guy was pulling it out, said Stephanie told me to impound it as soon as I left. So they deliberately, out of spite, had it towed when I was there to remove it like 20 minutes before. This is all because I won't lie and say that she didn't do this.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jeannie Dent says her son, Brandon Bowen, owes for the value of a car. Brandon says his mother asked him to frame her ex-husband.
Where's your $120 car?
It is at my house. I got it out of impound. I don't want the money for the car. I just wanted my car back, and I just wanted.
You have it now.
Yeah, I just wanted her to pay for the damages. The lady that had the car, her witness, kept the key. The impound people had to unlock the door and take the ignition out, and all that has to be replaced. I have estimates how much that's going to cost.
Well, how much is it going to cost?
It's going to cost, just for the locks, not including the ignition, all the locks from Chet's Locksmith is going to be $367.
Forget it. Let me explain something to you. Okay. I'm not giving you, sir, 3 times the cost of the car to put in a new lock.
I don't want the process of the car. I just.
But you understand me? The whole car cost $120.
Yeah.
You think that I'm going to order her to pay $300 and how much?
$27
to put in a new lock? Forget it.
Okay.
Bottom line is, you got your money, you got your car.
Correct.
You don't like each other anymore.
I love my mom.
Well, it certainly doesn't sound like it to me. What were you in jail for, Mr. Bowen?
She alleged that I lived with her for a short period of time, and I was $50 short of paying half of her rent. She told me her new boyfriend doesn't like me. I had to leave because she had a doctor's appointment. I climbed back through my bedroom window. She came home and called the police, and her and my sister made up a story that we stole a bunch of stuff, which is not true, and I went to jail.
Just a minute. What did you go back to jail for recently in March?
That was to serve the last 4 days of the sentence for climbing through her window.
Were you the complainant on that case?
Yes, I was. He broke into my home.
I was living there at
Which
the
is
time.
just one of many things that have happened.
Why do you think that you would be entitled to $1,500?
Because that new contract was signed after constant badgering. He was calling my work, and every time that I would hang up on him, and he'd call back, he would hang up on my boss. My job was at risk. My boss said, this has got to stop.
That's not true.
And, it was creating a problem for me. He was calling my house. You know, I'd get 7 phone
He's
calls,
your child, madam.
5 are hang-ups.
He's your child. He's your child.
Yeah.
And if you bought him a car for $120, and that's what all this fuss is about.
He's my child who's broken into my home, who's stolen money from me.
I don't understand it. Do you ever have drugs delivered to your house?
No, I did not. And I have a couple statements here. He wrote a statement first and says that the person I'm in this battle with, first he writes a statement and says that this person, Richard, is coercing him to write a statement in lieu of furniture. And he comes to me and tells me that, and I said, well, then maybe you should write that down. So he did, and I have that with me. Then he goes to Richard, the other person, and writes the statement. A couple days later, he's got furniture. Then he comes back and writes another statement and says, well, that was not true, and I recant all that, which I have also.
Sounds like you shouldn't get your child involved in your own domestic court situations, especially when the child is an adult child and doesn't have anything to do with the custody battle that you're currently involved in. Neither you or his stepfather should do that. In any event, you got your money, you got your car. Goodbye, good luck, be well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Happy life.
He's a drug addict.
I can't believe that someone that was supposed to be my mother would actually sit here and do this and say things like this.
Enough is enough.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Foster Nelson versus Winders Burgess. Step forward, please.
17-year-old Anthony Nelson and his stepfather, 35-year-old pipefitter Scott Foster, are suing Anthony's former friend, 15-year-old James Burgess, and his mother, 41-year-old waitress Kim Winders. Anthony claims James took his quad runner without permission and flipped it.
What's your first name?
Anthony Nelson.
Well, that's your first and your second name. But it goes together. Anthony?
Yes, ma'am.
Anthony, you have some sort of a bike. What sort of bike is it?
It's a four-wheeler.
What's a four-wheeler?
It's a quad cab. It's like a motorcycle, but it's got 4 wheels.
When did you get that?
Early in January, or late January.
Do you ride it?
Yes, ma'am.
How did I know that? Did you ever have one as a child?
I had motorcycles. They didn't have them back then.
But as soon as you saw it, you had to have it.
Oh, yes.
For your son. Right? You understand that?
Yeah.
All right. Just
Guy.
I don't know if I'm disturbing you.
It's a guy. Oh, no. 3-letter word for insect.
Gotcha. According to your complaint, Anthony, the defendant, this young man, was with you one day, and you were with some other people who also had fathers who wanted these four-wheelers, who bought them for their children. And the defendant, without your permission, got on the bike, rode it, had an accident with it, and damaged it. You want him to pay, or his mother to pay. That's what this case is about.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not exactly sure what your defense is. That he gave you permission to ride it, and the cost of fixing it was too much, but I'll get to it in a second. How many boys were you out riding with?
There was 4 of us all together, ma'am.
How many boys had bikes?
The defendant had a motorcycle, and the rest of us had 4-wheelers.
So tell me what happened.
We got out of school early, and a couple of my friends and me, we wanted to go for a ride. It seemed like a nice day. We were out riding for a couple hours, and we decided to go take a break.
Was James with you at the time?
Yes, ma'am. He was one of us that was riding with us. We went back to Michael's house, my friend, to take a break. We were in his driveway talking, and the defendant got on my 4-wheeler and took off in reverse without asking my permission to get on it. And we ran out after him, but he was already too far out, and he couldn't hear us because of the motor. And by then, he hit the back brake and locked up the axle and flipped the 4-wheeler over. We ran out to see if he was all right. We picked the 4-wheeler up, looked over it.
We talked about it a little bit. He said, all right, I'll pay for the damages. And we'll go and call RTD, that's the dealership. We'll call RTD and see how much it is, and we'll handle it from there.
What parts were damaged?
The plastic was all scratched up. The front steering column was bent. The whole brake assembly was ruined. We had to replace that. It wasn't rideable. You couldn't ride it.
So you got an estimate?
Yes, ma'am.
From the place where you would purchase the bike?
Yes.
Can I see the estimate, please?
Here's the letter stating that it was in brand new condition. Here's the repair order, and here's what I actually bought so that we could continue to ride it.
The entire cost of repairing the bike is $918?
Yes, ma'am.
What's $1,027.11?
That was for my time off of work. I took a day off, or half day off when I figured we were going to court, and my labor's a lot cheaper than theirs.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear you.
Ma'am, I did have permission to ride the four-wheeler. We were all sitting in the driveway. We were standing talking around. Mike just got back from riding it. Mike took it down the road, come back. I go, Anthony, can I ride it? He goes, hold on 1 minute, let it cool down. A few minutes later, I asked him. He said yes. I was backing down the driveway. I hit the rear brake, and a four-wheeler came back. I jumped to the side of the four-wheeler.
You damaged the bike, right?
Yes.
So why shouldn't you pay for it?
I feel it was equal responsibility on both parts.
Why is that?
I've had people blow my stuff up. I got a YZ 125 in '96, and I've had people blow it up, and I've always replaced everything anybody else.
Then you're a good guy. But if you borrow somebody's car and you wreck it, and unless there's insurance that covers it, it's your responsibility.
Yes.
The fact that he said that you could drive it doesn't relieve you of that responsibility. You want to say something?
Yes. The main reason we're here is from the discrepancy in what was supposed to be wrong with the four-wheeler. They went to my house, they called RTD, said it was just the clutch lever or brake lever, and it was $87.
They called and said, this looks like it's wrong with the bike, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, well, if that's all that's wrong with the bike, and it's $87.
Yes.
But clearly when they took the bike down there...
Can I say one more thing?
Sure, there turned out to be a lot more damage to the bike.
He came to my house, the father and the son came to my house a few weeks afterwards with an estimate of $400 and some. And he said, your son did this, will you pay it? And I said, what happened to the $87? And he got mad, upset, and I said, no, I won't pay the $400 and whatever dollars it was. So he went to go out of my driveway. He threatened my son.
He threatened to beat my... His exact words. He goes, your ass is beat.
He threatened my son, and
that's not
good. At that time, it was $400, $400 and some odd dollars.
Did you ever give them an estimate of $400 some odd?
No, I did not, ma'am. I walked to her door to ask her to pay this damages, and her exact words. Sorry.
That's not what I'm asking you. She said that you showed her a bill at one point for $400.
No, ma'am. She wouldn't even look at it. That's the actual estimate I gave her. She wouldn't even look at it.
Well, this is dated March the 2nd, which
Correct.
is shortly after the accident.
Correct.
He must have went and got that after he left my house. What he brought to my house was $400 and some.
What date did he come to your house?
You know what date it was?
I'm not exactly sure what date he came to my house, but all the kids at school knew it was $427. And then we got the statement in the mail that was that $900. It's like $1,027.
Okay. Has the bike been fixed?
I fixed the steering part so that we could ride it.
And how much did you spend on the steering?
You have the paperwork
Is that
up
the
there?
second bill?
Yes, ma'am.
$219?
Yes, I believe that's what it was.
All right. And the rest of it has not been done?
No, ma'am.
It's very, very easy. I'm entering an initial order of $219.73. And what you folks will do, since you all live in the same neighborhood, is we'll pick a date. You all go down to RTD Motorsports and satisfy yourself what the bill is. I will enter a maximum order in the amount of $918 to be held until the both of you go down and satisfy yourself what the bill is. Do you understand? Does that sound fair to you? I mean, no, it doesn't sound fair to you. He says he had permission. It's his responsibility. He wrecked the bike. And if he wants to be a good guy and take care of it when other people wreck his bikes, that's up to you. You wreck this one, it's your responsibility. The only difference is the cost of repair. and I don't think that you can exaggerate the cost of repair. You actually spent $219, that you get. Then 5 days from today, you boys make arrangements with your parents, if necessary, to go down to RTD Motors, see what it's going to cost to fix the bike for a maximum of total $918, and then the court will enter judgment in that amount. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that sound reasonable to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Court will draft the order. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
I don't believe I said that. I think I said maybe Anthony take care of him later. Yeah, I was upset.
I've had accidents. I've done it on my own four-wheeler, and my cost was never that expensive.
I'm just glad we could finally get it over with so we can go back to go riding.
He brought a contagious disease into her home.
Why did you let this little boy come over to my house knowing he was infected?
Did her family have a reaction?
I was afraid for my children.
Or an overreaction?
I wasn't concerned because I knew that he didn't have chicken pox.
She legitimately felt you had placed her children in jeopardy.
One cure.
I said they look like flea bites.
The Tria Randall for keying her car after an argument.
Order. Come to order. All rise. Now, this is case number 195 on the calendar in the matter of Hilson versus Randall. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Hilson, according to the complaints that I have read, you and the defendant were very good friends, and then you had an argument. And it is your claim that after the argument, she vandalized your car by keying and scratching your car. When did this argument take place?
It started Sunday early evening around 6.
Sunday, what date?
I'm sorry, July 22nd.
What was the argument about?
The argument was about a little boy, Micah, who is here. The defendant's daughter called me and asked me if I would babysit her mother's ex-boyfriend's son.
Which is this little boy?
Yes.
Shh.
And it was no problem. I said yes. When I woke up, the little boy was at my house. No one said, okay, we're here, the little boy is here, we're leaving. I woke up, he was at my house.
You have children?
I have, yes, 2 sons.
How old
Joshua,
are they?
4 years old, and Malik, 11 years old.
Okay, let me hear, what was the argument about?
Okay, so he stayed at my house and spent the night. No one came to pick him up. No one called to say, we're back, you can bring him. The following day, I was giving them a bath. And Micah had all of these like scratches. It looked like flea bites. I just took it for granted that it was flea bites because the defendant had 11 cats and it had an infestation of fleas in her home. And she was recently evicted for that.
So you assumed it was flea bites?
I assumed it was flea bites. So when he began to scratch and the bumps came and he scratched till one area started bleeding. So I sat him down. I said, wait a minute, this isn't flea bites. This is something else. So I sat him down. I said, Micah, do you have chicken pox? He says, yes. Did your mother know you had it? He said, yes. I said, did Rhea, who's the defendant, did she know? Did her and Kendra know you had it? He says, yes, they put ointment on me. When he said that, I couldn't believe it. First of all, I was shocked. I was afraid for my children. He had slept in the same bed with my 4-year-old. I called Kaiser Hospital to see what could I do. Could I bring them in? Is there anything they can give me? They said, no, just clean your house. Clean your house, wipe everything down. So I tried to call them to say, come and get him now. Why did you do this? I was really upset. I really don't remember everything that I said, but I was upset.
Did you contact the defendant? Did you make contact with her?
No, I kept getting the recording. So after, I guess, an hour or 2, I finally got them on the phone, and they were very nonchalant.
Who's they?
I got Rhea on the phone.
The defendant?
The defendant on the phone.
Okay.
And they were very nonchalant. She was very nonchalant about it.
Well, tell me what you said to her and what she said to you.
I said, Rhea, why did you let this little boy come over to my house knowing he was infected with chicken pox? She said, well, I didn't know it was chicken pox. She said, Kendra did mention to me the other day, the day before he came to my house. She said, Kendra did bring it to my attention that he had chicken pox, but for some reason, I guess she didn't look into it or whatever, but this little boy is staying at her house in her care.
Okay.
So then I heard his mother's, the little boy's mother's voice in the background. She screamed out and said, it's not chicken pox, it's measles. You know, okay. So I'm livid. I am livid at that point. And I said, just come and get him now. So what I did is I gave him some clean clothes. I put all the clothes that he had on in a bag, tied them up. I isolated him from my children. I put them, you know, in the living room and had them in the bedroom. And I waited and waited and waited. And she knows that I have to be at work early in the morning. They did not come and get him until around 10:30 that night.
What time had you called them and spoken to her?
It was around 6. Around
6 in the evening?
Mm-hmm.
And they came about 10:30?
About 10:30.
Okay.
And my plan, because I had to pray, I said, okay, I am just going to give her the little boy, give her the bag with his clothes in it, and just shut my door. I have nothing else to say to her. So when she finally came, that's what I did. I walked, when she came, I had him at the door, had the bag in my hand. I handed her the bag and the little boy and said, good night, I have nothing else to say to you. She pushed her way into my house and started cursing, saying, wait, just the whatever. She was just cursing, and I wasn't listening. I just said, just get out of my house. So the phone rang. She said, well, just give me my MF jeans. Just give me my jeans. I said, you're not getting anything.
What jeans is she talking about?
She's talking about a pair of red, blue jeans and a pair of white jeans that she gave me to wear. So when the phone rang and I picked it up and I said, you're not getting anything, but get out of my house. But when I turned my back, she ran over across my living room, and I bought my son a really nice stereo, my 11-year-old, for Christmas. A really nice stereo, boombox or whatever. She ran over, grabbed that, snatched it out of the wall, broke the antenna, and ran out the door with it. When she ran out the door, I ran behind her, and I said, give me my son's radio. And she was trying to get in the car with it, but I got it from her and took it back. I ran back in the house, and I said, you know what? Wait right here. Let me give you these jeans, and I will have nothing else to do with you. She started ranting and raving in my parking lot saying, I don't want the MF jeans. She didn't want them at that point. I just shut my door. When I shut my door, she left with Micah, took him home or whatever. The next thing I know, she comes back with her daughter, Kendra, and they're ranting and raving outside. I don't know what they were saying. You're this and you're that, all in front of my neighbors.
What time was this?
It was right after she left. You know, she came about 10:30.
So it was sometime after 10:30?
Yeah, she came back.
Okay.
And I was just like, I'm going to bed. I am not going to deal with them. But before she got to my house, she called me from the cell phone saying, you're going to pay. And I'm going to make sure you pay. So you take that for what it's worth. I know how to make you pay.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Beverly Hilson says after an argument with former friend Rhea Randall, her car was vandalized.
Go ahead.
So I called her back. I said, don't call my house and threaten me anymore, because have you forgotten? And she had forgotten. When she was evicted from her apartment, she asked me to please keep a lot of her coats and clothes, you know, old stuff that she had in my son's. I didn't have any room for my own things. I said, have you forgotten that all of your clothes are over here and you're threatening me? I will throw all of this stuff out on the lawn right now and let people have their pick. And I did say that. I was very angry. You put my 4-year-old son's life in danger, and you won't even acknowledge any of it. They were just nonchalant. She said, and she called me back and said, if your precious son does happen to get chicken pox or measles, then that means they were supposed to have it. She said that she was going to make me pay. The police came. The police came. When the police came, the police knocked on my door and asked me if I had anything that belonged to her. I gave the police her clothes. In the meantime, they're calling me on the phone, saying all kind of crazy things, you're going to pay and this, that, and the other. No problem, okay? The next morning I wake up, 6 o'clock in the morning. My child care provider came to pick my son up. And she said, Beverly, what's all this on your car? What's wrong with your car? I was like, nothing. She said, come out here. And I went outside, and Your Honor, I have a statement. My total car from front to back, every panel that's visible was scratched.
Let me see. Do you have pictures?
I don't have any pictures. I have the police report. I have a witness statement. The witness could not be here today, but they sent a statement.
Why can't the witness be here today?
They had prior commitments.
I can't accept that excuse, but I'm going to take a look at the police report.
Okay, here's the police report, including the witness statement, and also...
Don't give me the witness statement.
Okay.
Which one is the police report?
That one.
Is the witness statement contained in the police report?
Yes, it's in the police report.
Take a look at it. You called in the police report at about 8 o'clock in the morning, that next morning, I see. Is that right? Okay. The police report confirms the scratches all over the car, the entire car, and you have an estimate for the car.
I have an estimate,
Can I see
also
it,
a
please?
statement from the
Earl Scheib. It's on the second page. And also, Your Honor, I'd just like to let the court know that a couple of weeks ago, before this court date, she called my job. And she said to me that, I'm going to be honest with you, my intent was just to flatten your tires. So her intent was just to flatten my tires.
All right. Ms. Randall, let me hear your version of the events, please.
Okay, Your Honor, the version that I'd like to give you of the events is the truth. I raised my right hand. There was no Bible. I wish there had been. Maybe Beverly would have been more forthcoming had there been. Almost all of what she said was not true. The first statement that came out of her mouth was the defendant's ex-boyfriend. His father is a friend of mine who is a comedian, and I am his godmother, and he stays with me regularly. Fine. On the night in question, that Saturday night, his father was opening at a new venue in the Valley. So I asked Beverly, through my daughter, if she could keep Micah so that I could go there. Would she mind keeping Micah? She said, fine. I called her a couple of times on my cell phone because the show was going longer than it had been expected. I called her about 11 o'clock, and I said, Beverly, it's late. I'm in the Valley. I said, but I'll be there. She said, that's okay. Just leave him here. It's too late to pick him up.
Okay.
So I didn't pick him up. The following morning, I went to church. She didn't go. Yes, there was a question. My eviction has nothing to do with this case.
My question to you is, so far what she says is absolutely accurate. You or your daughter asked her to babysit for Micah. Whether she told you the boy could stay because it was too late or not is really not relevant. The boy stayed until the next day,
right,
and she was giving the boys a bath. Now, my question to you is, she says that Micah had chickenpox either recently or at that moment, but he certainly had marks from the chickenpox, and she says that when she called you, you did indicate to her that you knew or had been told at some point that he had chickenpox. Is that correct?
No.
Okay.
Your Honor, what happened was, it was after we came from church, so that was around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. She came to bring him home, and she said, look at these marks on him. And I said, they look like flea bites. And so she said, I said, just give him here. She says, no, that's okay. I'll take him with me because I'm going home and I'm going to fix this dinner, and I'm going to have, he'll have dinner, and then you come pick him up.
So far, that was very nice of her.
Right.
So far, there's no problem.
So far, there's no problem. Right.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I get a call on my cell phone. At the time, I happened to be at Micah's mother's house getting my hair braided. And so she's ranting and raving on the phone about Micah having chicken pox. And I said, what are you talking about? Micah, you know that those are flea bites. She failed to mention the fact that she had a cat that she got from me. She had been complaining. The cat got killed because she allowed her son to throw it over the fence. Wait a minute.
Listen to me. Miss Randall.
No, Judge Judy, I'm trying to tell you that she had the fleas in her house. That's when she got raving mad.
Listen to me. Doesn't make sense. Because if she came to see you, as you said, after church, and wasn't concerned at all, something happened between after church at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and 6 o'clock at night when she called you. And what happened was that she had a conversation with Micah, and Micah told her that he had chickenpox. Now, he may have been wrong, but something happened. She did not become psychotic between 2 o'clock in the afternoon and 6 o'clock at night, Miss Randall, because she was doing you a favor. She said, bring him over. According to you, she said, don't even bother to come back now. It's too late. Stay, have a good time. I'll pick him up in the morning. Then you see her the next day after church, and still everything is fine, and you say, leave him here. And she said, no, I'll take him home and have dinner because I'm going to make dinner. So far, she's being a really good sport. Does that sound right to you?
Sounds right to me.
And then if I were to believe your version of the events, she took some kind of mind-altering drug between 2 and 6 o'clock in the afternoon and became psychotic. And I'm telling you, that doesn't fit with my common sense barometer. So Micah may have said to her, in response to a question, she may have said to him, do you have chicken pox? And he may have said yes. Maybe he didn't. He may not have told her the accurate story, but she legitimately felt at that point that you and your daughter placed her children at risk of infection with a child who was infected with chicken pox. As a parent, you can understand that if that's what she believed. So what I want to know is, what was all the hoopla about? If you spoke to her at 6 o'clock, how come you didn't get there until 10 o'clock at night?
First of all, Your Honor, his mother was braiding my hair. When she heard me on the phone speaking to Beverly and heard Micah's name, she asked me what's going on. I told her Beverly thought Micah had chickenpox. She said in the background, Micah already had chickenpox. He doesn't have chickenpox. Okay? And she also said Beverly later told me that her children had already had chickenpox, and so that wasn't the issue. Her issue was that I didn't come right away. I didn't come right away, Your Honor, because I wasn't concerned, because I knew that he didn't have chickenpox.
But you didn't come right away.
I didn't come right away because I wasn't at home.
All right, let's go a little bit further. There came a time when you came back to the house after you had gotten Micah. Micah was now out of her home, and the police were called. Did you contact the police?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Why did you contact
Your
the police?
Honor, when I picked Micah up, I got home, and I got a phone call. You better come get your MFSH. I've thrown it on the front lawn, and you better come before them come and get your stuff. So I immediately, I just jumped up. I went over to the house. I pull up.
Who did you go? Who did you go with?
I went with my daughter. My daughter came with me.
Okay, so you went over there with your daughter.
Yes, and so I pulled up, and there's a house.
Where's Micah?
He was at home with my father. Okay, I pull up into the. She has a long driveway. There's a house in front, and then her house is in the back. So I pull up into the driveway. There are no clothes on the lawn. I knocked on the door and I said, Beverly, give me my stuff, please, because at this point she had gone so.
Okay, so she didn't give you your stuff. I wanted to. So the police, you left the house and called the police?
No, I didn't. I sat in the driveway because when I got to the door, she said, I'm not giving you she said, you know, I'm not, and she slammed the door. So, and then she opened it again. And so I sat there and I
went inside and got the radio at some point?
No, that was earlier. I didn't get the radio and bring it out of her house at all because she got it before I got out of her house. Okay. And I didn't break anything on it.
Just a second. Why did you grab the radio?
Because, Your Honor, Beverly is the kind of person.
No, I don't want to hear what kind of person she is. I want you to tell me why you grabbed the stereo out of her wall socket and started to walk out with it.
Because she owed me money. She told me when she came earlier that day, when she brought Micah, I'll give it to you when you come and pick Micah up. When I got to her house, she just pretty much nonchalantly said, look, I don't have your money. And I'm not giving it to you. Don't worry about whatever. You'll get it when you get it. I was upset at her, and I did pick the radio up. And I was going to walk out of the door with it and told her, well, I'll give you your radio back when you give me the $35. $35 for some jeans. And she snatched the radio back from me. And
okay, so now we got the radio. Now we got the radio. When did you call the police? When you were sitting outside?
Right. I was
sitting outside, the police arrive. Police arrive, and you get your clothes.
Yes.
All right. And then you left?
Yes.
With your daughter?
Yes.
Okay, so you had nothing to do with scratching up her whole car? All right. Opportunity, motive, and inclination. Those are the things that I have to deal with.
Okay, Your Honor.
Shh, I'm speaking. Clearly you were very angry that day. And you were angry enough to call the police involving your best friend. You were angry enough to grab a radio from out of her house. And who else would have the opportunity, the inclination, and the motivation to do it but either you or your daughter, because you were angry. You were angry because she said, I'm not giving you back the $35, which is really something that she probably said out of anger because she was put out by the fact that she felt as if you and your daughter had placed her children in jeopardy, even if it was not a real threat, even if he did not have chickenpox. But clearly the child told her that he had. So based upon that, put your hand down. You don't seem to be losing yet, right? The estimate for repainting this car is $580, and I'm awarding that to the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Their main concern is getting their hair braided and going to see the comedy show and da-da-da-da-da, you know, and never once any remorse.
That's normal for her, to become irrational and crazy over anything.
Harassing calls. You decided that you needed some protection, so you got a dog.
Yes.
It is your claim that the defendant, in retaliation for something, enticed the dog onto her property and subsequently adopted the dog. You want the dog returned to you?
Correct.
Or its value?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you lived in the same neighborhood?
About 1.5 years, 2 years.
Is that how you know her, from the neighborhood?
Yes.
When did you get the dog?
The 15th of March.
Where did you get the dog?
I used to be a dog groomer by trade, and one of my former customers asked me to take her because her daughter had very severe allergies. Had to get rid of the animals, unfortunately.
What kind of dog is it?
She's a Dalmatian Black Lab mix.
She's a mutt?
Yes.
So you took the dog?
Yes.
Didn't pay for the dog, but you
No,
took
ma'am.
the dog. Where did you put the dog when you brought the dog home?
We tied the dog outside in the front because we were having a lot of harassment problems.
Is it a fenced yard?
Not in the front, no.
What was she tied with?
She was tied with a brand new chain and collar and that we bought her before we bought.
Did the dog have a license on the collar?
No.
So that there was no identifying mark on the collar?
No.
What time did you come home from picking up the dog?
About 5:30, 6 o'clock.
And what time did you find the dog missing?
I didn't put her out until about 9:30.
At 9:30 you found the dog missing?
Yes.
What did you do?
First, we went out searching for her all over the neighborhood. And my husband said, she's probably down at Cindy's. At first, I didn't think Cindy would, go that low, but she did. And we made signs, and we put the signs out early the next morning. My husband...
Where did you put out the signs?
On the telephone poles, one being right beside her home, and another one down the street, and all up and down Galbraith Road, which is the off street from where we go to.
Okay.
I called the SPCA, who had told me that the dog wasn't there yet. I have a lost dog report where I filed the lost dog report that morning.
I'd like to see it, please.
I also got a copy of the sheltered animal report. When I went to go to the SPCA on the first day, the very next morning at 10 o'clock, the animal was not there yet. It wasn't until 1:35 until the animal was picked up by Cindy. She called the SPCA.
We'll get to her in a second. Okay, now how did you find out the dog was with Miss West?
My daughter went to a local pharmacy around the corner from where we live, which views the backyard of Mrs. West's home. She came in crying, saying that Lacey was in Cindy's backyard. So we went back in the back alley.
When was this? How many days
that
later?
was a week. It was on the 28th.
Okay.
I said, okay, let's go make sure, Ripley. I said, because, we want to make sure before we call the police.
Okay, so the answer is, was your dog, and did you call the police?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Called the police? You went to her home with the police?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
And she showed the police the adoption papers because she had since adopted this dog?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. West, when did you find this dog?
On the evening of the 15th, had to be about 11:30 at night. It was running freely through the neighborhood. I have a videotape where this dog ran, in an hour and 15 minutes, it ran 17 times through my yard.
Why would you videotape this dog?
I have a security camera on my house because this woman continually harasses me.
Is it on all the time?
Yes.
Go ahead.
And I called the SPCA. It was running out in the street, back and forth in the yard. And I opened the door and I said, "Hey, puppy," and the dog walked right in my house. Then, I believe it was Monday, I had called to see if the owner had claimed the dog, and they said that no one had called for the dog, and I went down to see her. Owner has 5 days to claim. I waited 6, and then I went with my son and adopted the dog.
Did you see any signs that Miss Ellison put up in your neighborhood?
No, that's a complete lie.
You didn't see? No, I don't know whether it's a complete lie or not.
I didn't see any.
The answer is you did not see
No,
any
I didn't
signs.
see any.
Okay. Now let's get to your counterclaim for a minute.
Okay.
Your counterclaim is that the plaintiff vindictively called Protective Services, uncross your arms, called Protective Services and said things about you with regard to your children, causing your children to be removed from your custody for over 3 weeks.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'd like you to tell me about that, because that's your counterclaim.
Yes. In the period when we were friends, there were several times that she stipulated to me that no matter what happened, not to call 241 Kids because she runs a very filthy household.
And so we had agreed to that. If we hadn't, I'd have called Children's Services before she did. But I give my word,
I don't want to hear you. Go ahead.
On March 1st, Children's Services knocked on my door, claiming that they had got a report for a filthy house. Supposedly there was garbage in my house up to here, that I beat my kids, that I didn't feed my kids, and several other allegations.
Okay.
And my children were removed from me until there was a parental screening done.
Just a second. That's not what Protective Services does. They don't come in, remove children for 3 weeks while they do an investigation. When they receive a report, they come in and they say, can we come into your house? And they come in and they make certain observations. So if they came into your house, they must have found your house filthy.
No.
Did they speak to your children?
Yes.
And it was at that time that they removed the children?
My children weren't actually...
Answer. Was it at that time that they removed the children?
They were placed under a safety agreement.
Okay. So they allowed the children to remain in your home under an agreement with you. Is that right?
No.
With whom?
My children were not allowed to be left alone with me whatsoever. I either had to have someone stay with me or they had to go to my mother's.
Okay. So they were allowed to stay with you if there was someone else in the house. And that was after they spoke to the children?
It was...
After they spoke to the children?
No.
Wrong.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Elizabeth Ellison says neighbor Cynthia West stole her dog in retaliation for calling child services. Cynthia is countersuing for defamation of character.
When was the agreement entered into that you would not be left unsupervised with your children?
On March 1st.
So this is before the dog disappeared? Was there an investigation?
Was there an investigation?
That's my question.
Yes, I have an open case.
So your case was not marked unfounded. It is still an open case.
I can explain to you why.
Just answer my question.
Okay, yes.
The case was not marked unfounded, which means that there was no merit to the claims. It was an open case, which means it's still outstanding and subject to investigation.
It'll be closed the end of this month.
Who knows?
I do.
Do you have any reports from social services?
That's confidential information. It would have to be subpoenaed.
So that you don't have them?
Exactly.
Do you have any initial reports that were furnished from social services?
Those are not public information.
Okay. Is this the first time that social services has visited your home?
Oh, yes.
The first time?
First. Very first.
Why would you and the defendant talk about not calling social services? I mean, I've had lots of friends in my life. One of the things that we certainly never talked about was never calling social services about how we are as parents. We talked about a lot of other things. We complained about our husbands, the local market, but we never had a discussion about social services. Why would you have an agreement with her not to call social services, Miss West?
That was a stipulation that she set down, not I.
No, it was a stipulation you set down by
Now,
being
okay,
a drug
just a
head.
second. Miss Ellison, you interrupted again, but I'm going to come
I'm
back to you
sorry.
for a second. I'm not going to ask you whether or not you placed this call.
It's an anonymous hotline.
It was because it's an anonymous hotline, so I'm not going to ask you whether you did or not. But it is your belief that because she thought that you placed this call, she retaliated by taking the dog.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I have proof she took the dog.
Let me see.
This is a Coleraine Township Police Department police report. If you would read it, you would see at the bottom, it states that she admitted taking my dog.
Let me see.
And she also knew it was my dog. She told him when she got there. When he got
Don't
there.
tell me what she told him. I'm looking at it.
Sure you don't have a copy of that?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to give both of you 1, 2, 3, then you're out of here. Do you understand?
Yes.
Did social services come to visit your house?
Yes, ma'am. I have a copy of my...
Can I see it, please?
Human resource.
Because I see that after she believed you called
you can
on
also,
her.
Yes, she did.
She
called on
you.
me.
All right.
May I comment?
Sure.
I did not make that call. I'm not the only person that knows she runs a filthy house.
Okay. All I can tell you is she has this document here, which you clearly do not have, which indicates that her case was immediately closed.
They made a surprise visit, just like her. Sorry.
I like to conduct a very orderly place. Clean, neat, and orderly.
Go ahead.
You don't have this, that your case was closed, is that right?
No, because my case is still ongoing. Would you like for me to answer that why? You had asked me that before.
Sure.
The reason my case is ongoing, part of the social interaction with her and I, we'd smoked marijuana together. I was a recreational user. She
That's
gets
a
high
lie,
all
Judge.
day,
I don't want to
every day.
hear.
That's what.
Shh, shh. Listen to me. Case closed. Case still open. That's the objective fact.
Because I admitted to my recreational use is the only reason I have an open case.
Because they caught you at the door, you and that Nicole, your
listen.
witness, smoking a joint.
Listen to me.
And you know what happens in my house, huh?
What? You don't
Sorry.
understand? You're going to both be out of here. Well, Miss West, police officer attributes the following to you. She stated that Miss Ellison had her kids taken away, but all she did was take away her dog, Miss Ellison's dog. So she, quote, went pretty light on her. That's what you told the police.
Can I respond?
Yeah, the police don't lie.
Well, no, I'm not going to lie.
Shh. You don't get it. Yes, I'm waiting for you to respond.
Okay. This was after she had come to my backyard and was cussing and hollering that I had her dog. That was the first point at which I was aware that this dog had previously belonged to her. And I did tell them that, but like I said, it was after that she had pointed out to me, you have my dog, and a few other explicit words mixed in there. But she had pointed that out to me. So at that point, I did know that it was her dog. But that was the first time that I had knowledge of that.
Who knows? Okay.
Nobody tapes the dog in a video yard.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I want you to be quiet.
Okay, you're right. I'm sorry.
I have several things to consider. Right now, the dog has been with you for quite some time. Dog is integrated into your household?
Yes.
And you, I assume, take good care of this dog?
Yes.
Good.
No.
I don't want to hear from you yet. I'm primarily concerned about the dog, the children involved. Right now, she is the legal owner of that dog, and your lawsuit wants either the return of the dog or the value thereof, which you place at $500. Quiet. That's what your lawsuit says.
The lawsuit is for, the $500 is for harassment. We would like to have the dog back. That's all we've ever wanted.
What I'm telling you is, she is now the legal owner of this dog, and I have to make a judgment as to how I'm going to resolve your lawsuit. I believe that there is a substantial possibility that Miss West did, in fact, come to your property, unchain the dog, and take the dog. That is a possibility. It is also a possibility that the dog got free.
I agree.
And was, in fact, roaming around. What she did was she did not secrete the dog. She brought the dog to the ASPCA immediately. You had an obligation to be vigilant and you could go to the ASPCA every day to see if the dog was there. The dog, I'm speaking.
Every day.
I don't care, call. I'm speaking. You had an opportunity to go to the ASPCA every day for day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look for your dog. You did not do that. So put your hand down. So since the dog has been in her custody, you had an opportunity to go and pick up your dog. You did not do that. She did not hide the dog. And there is, again, that possibility that your dog did, in fact, get out. Just get out. She probably knew it was your dog. Not sure, but I don't indulge myself in potentials or possibilities. I'm speaking. So I am awarding you $500. Even though you did not pay for this dog, I believe that Miss West knew or should have known that this was your dog and that there was a bit of retaliation in her keeping the dog and not calling you and letting you know that she had found the dog, and that there was something sneaky about the way she went about going there and legally adopting the dog. But she has legally adopted the dog. The dog is hers. It has been with her and her family for a long time. Okay. Now, Miss West, I'm going to get to your counterclaim, which I am dismissing. What state do you live in?
Ohio.
The state of Ohio does not remove children from their home without cause for 3 weeks without taking a parent to court. Period. End of discussion. No state does that. The state may say, I'm going to give you a warning, clean up your house, but if the state of Ohio is still part of this union, there are certain due process rights that you have. And if your children were removed from your home, as you state in your claim, as a result of what is an anonymous call, and it may well have been Miss Ellison who called. May well have been. But it doesn't make any difference. She did not remove the children from your home. The state removed the children from your home, which means that they found some cause to remove the children from your home. Since you do not have the paperwork to show me what the cause was, I have to assume.
I do have.
Well, you do have now. Swell.
I do have the paper for the safety agreement. I do not have the letter that she has. I left that at home.
I don't want to hear the letter for the safety agreement. I want a report from the state indicating why they removed the children from your home.
This is what this is.
Well, I'll take a look at it. That doesn't look like... I don't want to hear from you. You're finished.
Okay, no problem.
Well, they clearly found you using drugs.
I admitted to it. They asked me
Whether
the
you
question.
admitted to it or they found it. One of the stipulations was adults will refrain from all illegal drug use in the home. Who else lives in the home other than you and your 2 children?
My husband. Nicole's staying with us right now.
Excuse me?
Nicole Lake, this lady right here. Her mother left and went to Florida, so she's staying with me.
She was the one
so
they
she can
found
stay.
doing drugs.
Shh. Don't want to hear you. What are you showing me? I read this already.
In the highlight, it shows that Miss Allison admitted to being the one who called 241.
What difference does it make? The police had cause. The police had cause to remove your children. They either saw or you admitted to using drug use. And listen to me, Miss West, I'm not stupid. If the authorities came to your home and found nothing untoward in your home, found you perfectly straight,
they did.
Making matzo ball soup in your kitchen, right? And you just volunteered to them that you used drugs, volunteered to them, you must think that I was born 2 days ago. That's not what happens. They had evidence. They either found you in a condition of being under the influence, they smelled something in your home, they found something in your home, something happened, and then you admitted that you used drugs. But a normal person doesn't invite authorities into their home and say to them, let me tell you everything. Sometimes my house isn't neat and sometimes my kids' clothes aren't clean, but the worst thing that I do is use drugs. We understand each other. Your counterclaim's dismissed. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor. Parties are excused. You may step out.
I don't understand how I knew the dog was hers when she had it for less than 2 hours, and $500's an awful lot for a mutt.
She refers to it as a mutt. We refer to it as a human animal.
She's too big of a
Did that.
pothead to control her children.
I don't believe that I should be blamed for